I think that's it. I think we're live. 3, 2, 1. There's everybody. What's going on? Are we in? Are we starting this fireball?
We're here.
Says that we're live. That sounds like a good idea. We are having a little bit of technical difficulties with our guest. So we're going to try to figure that out. But in the meantime, we didn't want to keep stalling everybody. Welcome back to the show, everyone. Curmudgeon's Corner number 25. Woo! That's a milestone from what I understand. 25 is a big one. So I just want to say thanks to everyone for coming out. Hopefully it's going to be a fun show one way or another. We'll make it fun. We've got some really cool teasers that we're going to be dealing with earlier or later today. It was just going to people come on in and get settled in, have yourself some apple juice. And out of all the places that you could be on a Saturday night, especially on a holiday weekend, you chose to hang out. Curmudgeon's Corner 25. I want to say a special thank you to my co-host Eileen for joining us tonight. Being a part of the show is always a privilege and an honor for us. And
myself as well. Hopefully my Wi-Fi is working a little better this time, and I'm not like all like robot like I was last time.
Yeah, I think you look good.
Cool. Great.
So we got our usual suspects in the house. Christy, Tim, Titan Tim. There's Hawaii Tim just showed up. Richard Smith, what's going on, everyone? Superato's in the house. Mary, good evening to everyone as well. Papa Smurf, he checked in with me via the phone. Riggs 920, thank you everyone for coming on out and supporting the show. I'm getting a text message right now from
Tim starting off strong.
Yeah, what did he say?
When did Papa know he was into dudes?
Yep. That's a good question. I don't. You know what? I mean, as long as I've known him.
That's definitely an Eric question. I don't know if I can answer that one.
Right? Maybe we'll save the answer. Hawaii Tim, we'll save that answer for the 3-year anniversary special that we do every year around the 4th of July. We're going for Eileen, I don't know if I told you this, but we are going for a marathon. I believe the what is the word I'm looking for? The bar, I guess, is at almost 4 hours, and so we're going to try to break a 4-hour record on Curmudgeon's Corner or whatever that is. Let's see here, 2, 4, 6.
So breaking records on that one.
31, maybe Curmudgeon's Corner 31. We're going to be trying to break some records. Oh, there he is. He's back. He's finally in. All right, so Matt, I see you. Without further ado, we're going to bring in Matt from Xtra Mile Detailing.
Hey, Becca.
Mobile Detailing. And we're going to talk about it. Matt, welcome to the
show. Hey guys, what's going on?
There he is. Hey, Matt.
How are you?
Good, and you?
We're doing well. We're
awesome.
Trying to stay alive out here in the mobile detail world.
Same here.
How are you, sir? Looking good. I'm sorry for the technical difficulties we were having, but I'm glad that it all worked out in the end.
Well, no, I appreciate it. No, thank you. I'm looking forward to coming on, and it's always a fun time to hang out with Aaron. Now we even have our favorite little colleague, co-host, which is even going to make it even more fun.
That's right. And before we get too far into these weeds, we're going to talk about that. But just so you know, before we go any further, she's mine. I saw her first. And you can't have her. We'll talk about the reason behind that. But
isn't there a term that growing up they said sharing is caring?
There you go, Matt. There you go.
No, I don't do that.
It's all good.
If I have to fly out there and lick her, I will.
I love it. Very good.
Becca Green, happy Easter. Tracy, happy Easter. Good evening. Yep. Hawaii Tim says hello. Matt is in the house.
Hey.
You have any details today, Matt?
What's that?
Your off day. You had any details to do today?
We run 7 days, so we were at it today. We did. What did we do today? We did a long bed F350 and another F350 flatbed and an Escalade. So that was our 3 today.
So
Wow.
I was talking to Eileen earlier before we got started, and she was saying that she typically does about 3 a day. Like, is that the norm?
Yes and no. Like this location where we went today, typically it can run from 3 to 5 at that particular house. So he has numerous work trucks and things like that. So usually we exclude just that job for that day. But then yesterday we had 5. So it just depends. If we have full details or if we're doing coatings, I mean, obviously that varies and depends on time frames, but typically it's about 3 or 4 a day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Eileen, I think I cut you off. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna ask the same question. And Matt, it's you and sorry, I don't know his name. You put him on.
Cody is the guy that helps me, and then I have 2 other guys that help during the weekends. So
nice.
Cody's with me during the week.
Cool.
Yeah, so it's
I feel like I need a Cody sometimes.
I did it many years solo for a long time. I was just very reluctant, and it's hard. And now I look at it and I think, man, I don't know if I could go. I mean, I could do it, but man, it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I was telling the quality is. Yeah, I was telling Aaron, like, if I'm doing 2, I know guaranteed quality is like perfect. But if I do 3 solo, that third one, I don't know. It's a little sketchy what comes out after because
it really is.
I'm tired, man. I did it yesterday. I did 3 yesterday, and I was like, that third one, I was like, oh my god, just click my heels, take me home.
Oh, it is, and when the temperatures start creeping up, it makes it even more challenging. But we usually in the summer we'll get started pretty early. We'll start as early as 5:30 and try to wrap up by at least noon. So,
yeah, nice.
For selfish reasons, Matt, what is it like out there currently?
Right now, it's actually been extremely windy. They're coming in with some rain tomorrow. They're saying, and potentially it's only about in the 70s, upper 70s, 79.
Looks like the reason why I'm asking is. I'm coming to see you this week.
That's right. I knew you were. So, like, what day are we going? What do we got going? It got to be a day this week.
Well, so I'm flying in on Wednesday.
Okay.
Phoenix will be in Phoenix, everyone.
I love it.
That's the reason why I'm wearing this jersey. We'll talk about this, but I'm flying into Phoenix on Wednesday, so we could either potentially hang out Wednesday night. Thursday is the most important of the days of the shoot. And then Friday we're also shooting, but Eric says that it's not as important as Thursday's shoot is. And I think he wants to meet up with a Marine buddy on Friday. So either like Wednesday night or Thursday night, whatever works for you.
Sounds good.
I'd love to hook up and we'll do some photo ops and just kind of chill out.
For sure.
I don't know if Eric is going to join us or not because I want to keep him as fresh as possible for the shoot.
Absolutely.
Looks like Thursday's going to be 86 degrees.
Yeah.
But at least it's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat. You might get a little breeze. If you're lucky.
We don't want a breeze. Wind is bad. For shooting arrows, wind is bad.
That's a good point. That is a very good point. Yeah, you don't want that. That's well said. I can understand that.
Robert Strungus is in the house. Good dude.
Hey. So did you work, Eileen? Did you work today?
Yeah, I had 2 cars today.
You did today.
Yeah, but yesterday was rough, man. It was really hot, and the wind. I just kept getting smacked in the face with the foam, and it was. Let's just forget it. Let's forget about yesterday.
Be gone. Let it roll.
So it's a perfect setup for a question. Like, what is the most challenging aspect of being a mobile detailer? One, Matt, where you're at, which is just brutally hot, and then Eileen, where you're at, which is high desert. What is the most challenging aspect of a mobile detailer?
For me, temperatures are obviously a big thing in the summer. So if you break it in the summertime, that's usually our biggest challenge. So really trying to coordinate those darker colored painted cars or those darker vehicles that we're working on to try to be much earlier in the morning, as early as possible, so we can avoid the heat and the water and everything. I think
do you adjust your day? Like, do you get like, you start at like 4 o'clock in the morning and like work till 11?
We do, and we obviously our workload is a lot less. We try to go a lot longer and a little heavier in the wintertime, and then kind of we're shorter in the summertime, at least for the 3-4 months.
Okay, and which are the most difficult months for you?
Last summer, my gosh, it was probably one of the worst Phoenix temperatures because we had extreme humid temperatures that we normally don't have. It's usually dry. So it was extremely humid and the temperatures were very, very high. So, but typically you're looking probably our worst months, probably July, August, probably our toughest ones. Yeah.
All right. Eileen, your follow-up to the question?
So this will be my first summer doing mobile detailing. So Matt is going to be my best friend.
Absolutely.
From now until then, so he can give me all the tips.
Yeah.
Because I am like semi freaking out a little bit about temperature, but definitely something that I thought about was timing out the color of the vehicle, the size of the vehicle to like super early or later.
Absolutely.
And like doing maybe interiors in the middle of the day or something like that because
it's funny how for us, like the winter times, and even this winter, unfortunately in Phoenix has been really warm. Typically it's cold. Like we'll normally go out in the morning and it could be like 36, 37 degrees, which is cold for Phoenix, especially when you're working water. Sometimes it'll drop down, but we have only had maybe about 4 or 5 days there. Typically now in the morning we get up about 6, start about 6:30. And it's already, 49, 50 degrees. So typically what that means is we would normally in the wintertime, obviously flip our roles. We would do the interior and then we would roll to the exterior just so that we don't have the water freezing and frosting into the car and stuff. But in the summertime, obviously we flip it. We do the exteriors just because.
Yeah, because here, at 8 o'clock at night, it's like 105 degrees.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's tough.
Titan Tim might be a better person to ask this question of, but Tracy wants to know, try the South Alabama humidity. How much does humidity play a factor? And obviously you guys are both in very arid climates, which is why I probably would punt this over to Titan Tim. But I know like when it comes to like ceramic coatings, there's a big difference when it comes to humid versus arid.
Absolutely.
What are your thoughts on that?
I've noticed when it's, at least this past summer, we had a lot more humidity. And when we had done coatings, what we've noticed is just the longevity of drying and leveling purposes and things like that are definitely a little bit. Yeah. It's definitely, it depends on where we're doing it. Most of the time we're doing it in a garage, an RV garage or something like that. But, when you're out in the straight heat, and typically we're not doing it directly in the heat, we're usually in an enclosed area 99% of the time. But it definitely, time of flash time is the biggest factor, especially on coatings. I think that's our biggest challenge. Yep.
Do you bring a portable structure with you, or do you just kind of?
You know what? I used to do this. I used to bring the portable canopy, and I had the bigger ones, and I had all the. And what I realized, unfortunately, in Phoenix, which probably in other areas as well, is in the summertime, we will just out of the blue get this lovely monsoon weather, and we'll get this big gust of wind, and it just blows everything. And even with the sand weights and things that I've had on the canopies, I've had issues where they've kind of punched into the car, they've blown in the car, and I just avoid it. I don't want to have to sit and go do paint corrections and have my buddy come touch up the paint because my canopy hit it. So, so I really don't. A lot of times my clients will allow me to use their garage if we need to pull it in, but usually we don't. I don't even bring one. It's just another big thing to carry and break down, So we use Titan 1,000 times. That's what we use for our drying aid. It helps us. And I told Aaron this before. I mean, that is what saved our freaking ass all the time, is using that as a drying aid as we go through the process. It really, really increases the volume of being able to dry the car, have it smooth, have it shiny, slick, not having water spots on it. It really, really has made a huge difference. Huge.
Oh, that's great. That's great. I mean, that's ultimately that's the angle that Phoenix wants to be, is, you know, like, we want to be help. You know, we want to help you guys out in the field doing all the manual labor. I remember, you know, when I was at the old place, they sent me off to detailer school, which was basically, you know, just shadowing a detailer for like 2 or 3 weeks. And the only thing I really learned was I didn't want to be a detailer. Man, it is brutal. It is brutal. And you know, and of course, after all the injuries that I've sustained throughout, like, I can't squat for any period of time. Like, you know, anytime, like, I'm done. I'm no longer a catcher at all. You know, I can't squat. And, you know, anything below a window, I'm doomed. So,
yep.
So yeah, I hats off to you guys, and the fact that we can make products that help you achieve your goals simpler, easier, faster. That's
I mean, and Titan has been like for this job today. We do them every 2 weeks. This particular client with all their trucks and his wife's Escalade, and then I'll tell you, they get extremely dirty because he owns this big company, and the trucks get dirty. And I'll tell you, the amount of time that it cuts down for us in cleaning, I can't emphasize enough how much simpler it is, because when we put that Titan on, and we put it on as a drying aid on these cars every single time, dude, the dirt is half the headache of trying to get the dirt off the car, because it rinses off very easy. It keeps the car smooth. It just your cleaning time cuts down, you know, and that's huge. I mean, obviously we know as well, detailers, time's money. So if we can get through it in a sufficient time and productive, I mean, that's what we're trying to do, you know?
You read that? Did you read that, Eileen?
High pollution season arrives here.
No, you got it's Tim's.
It's Hawaii Tim.
Hi Tim.
I'm not even putting that up.
Yeah.
This is
that was a good one, Tim.
This is a professional show here. Yeah, Pollen Lake Mad in South Carolina. I would imagine so. You know, we are like probably a week, maybe 2 weeks away from getting that heavy green sheen on everything here in Jersey. Oh, it's just the worst. And of course, we also, where I'm at in South Jersey, we're close enough to the Pine Barrens that that like Tracy was saying, that heavy pine pollen is just the worst.
No, that's the big thing. I mean, I remember growing up back east in DC and the Virginia area and having that whole pollen and humidity, and man, I don't know. I still know the heat gets pretty rough out here, but I'll tell you, I think I still would rather have the higher dry heat than the humidity. The humidity just it kills me. I just at the end of the day, if it's humid, I just can't even move. I'm just mentally fried.
Yeah, I lived in Florida for a little bit, and I couldn't wait to get out of there. That heat is just like a whole different beast altogether.
Really is.
Give me like 10 northeast winters before I go back there.
So where are you exactly?
Joshua Tree area.
Okay.
29 Palms by the military base.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, fun fact, my dad, being a Marine pilot, he spent a lot of time out that way. He went to Red Flag, which is, I mean, everybody and anybody knows Top Gun. And that, I believe, is Miramar, Florida. And that's where the Navy's best of the best of the best fight it out. My dad, being a pilot from the Marines, he was selected to go to Red Flag, which is the Marine Corps' Top Gun. And, you know, he said that, I mean, when you're out there with the best of the best, it's a lot. It's an experience all amongst itself. So it's kind of the legacy of my family. And here I am, the lowest guy on the totem pole.
Oh, shit.
Miramar, California, Rich. Weather here in California, especially Central, has us playing Powerball like the lotto, calling out numbers every day at random, like 35, 66, 70, 41, 52. I think Lewis Black, who's one of my favorite comedians, he was just like, being a weather person, he's like, you might as well just be I think he said, might as well just be a chimp with a dart. And he just throws it at the board, and whatever that number is, that's what it is today. Today,
That's what it is.
66. Tomorrow, 12. Dun, dun, dun. So, Matt.
Yes.
We were talking. I see that you have on your you have as your header Matt Ayers Extra Mile Detail Dive.
Mm-hmm.
And we
does it have detail dive?
Yeah, it says Extra Mile Detail Dive.
That's really weird.
And I is it supposed to be there?
It should not be there. I don't know why. How did that end? Because when it went on there, it said Matt Ayers Extra Mile Detail. I don't know where. It's odd.
Maybe it's muscle memory. Your fingers just typed it. Your fingers just typed it.
Hey, you know.
We can change that.
Yeah,
we did. Do. There. I changed it.
There you go.
Should I mobile detail? Anyway, is that something that you want to talk about at all?
We can touch on it. I mean, there's, kind of know the story somewhat.
I do, but at the same time, I know it's a sensitive subject, and I know that, like, basically what I wanted to do, it was at least give you the opportunity. I don't know, give you a platform so you could say whatever you want to say or not say whatever you want to say. I know that you took a lot of heat in the very, very beginning because people were jumping to conclusions and didn't really, and like we had talked about before, my background in corporate world, there's in human resources, there's three sides to every story. There's his side, your side, and there's the truth. But because only one side of the story was being told, you started to get kind of a bad rap. And that's why, because you've been a great friend of mine and a great supporter of Phoenix, I wanted to give you the platform to say what you want to say or not say what you don't want to say. But, basically, if you'd like to talk about how things kind of transpired, because I know that, I got to have the privilege of being on Detail Dive. It was a fantastic interview. I had the honor of having Detail Dive on my show.
Absolutely.
And I was telling everybody how great of an interview it is. Interviewing somebody who interviews is fantastic because they can they can read the crowd, they can pick up on silences, and they fill in the gaps, and it takes all the pressure off the host because you've been sitting on this side of the microphone the exact same way that I have. And I've always respected you for that. And I've listened to all your Detail Dives. You're a hell of an interviewer. And I just kind of, after things kind of fell apart, I know that you wanted to reinvent yourself. And I think there's 17 people that you can solicit to be on your show.
Yes. No, let's just start with that. Detail Dive was actually, I'll kind of back up for those that may not know. I mean, Detail Dive was something that the name itself was something I came up with, and I always wanted to have a podcast or something when it came to the detailing industry, just because I'd been in it for so long, and a lot of great people I've met, a lot of great suppliers, and people like Aaron, and people I've gotten close to, and really enjoy working and hearing stories and experiences and you name it, that we get to experience as a detailer or being part into that industry itself. So my goal was to really get into a podcast that I could be able to allow other suppliers and other people to speak about their products. But not even more than that is to get these other detailers in front of the camera and let them get some exposure. That was something that was very important to me. And it is today too. It's still today. I love seeing success from other people. I love seeing them succeed. I love seeing them starting and seeing them exceed and get to the level or continue to get above or wherever they're trying to achieve in the success of detailing, or if it's just the weekend warrior or whatever it may be. It's just fun, and I love hearing people's stories, how they start, where they go, and where they plan to go and what they'd like to accomplish. So really all that kind of put together was really my drive and passion why I wanted to start the podcast. So with that being said, I started kind of brainstorming, thinking, and I had been on several other live streams with some other detailers that are still around, and I still.
How long ago was that? Sorry, Matt.
Detail Dive started well over a year ago. It was well over a year ago when we started. So I think I want to say it was back like October last. It's like we officially started like October, November. So it was over a year. And so I had initially met my co-host that we were working together on a live stream, and I really had liked kind of his vibe and his jive and kind of what he was doing, his work. And so I just reached out and I said, hey, no pressure at all. This is kind of what I wanted to do. This is my thought. Take it, and kind of sit on it for a little bit and think if it's something you want to do. And he sat and he came back, and he said, dude, I really do. I think it would be awesome. I think the concept of really getting these detailers on and letting them tell their stories and really kind of get them on the detail platform, these suppliers, talking about products, sharing products that we're using, and just helping detailers, helping them with different tools and different shortcuts and education and everything that you can possibly be involved in the detail community in the world or the detail world itself. Really trying to get that and create this detail platform where we were a community. And that's really what I always would say. I want it to be a detail community where it's a very close network. Everyone can work together. There's no secrets. There's no, I look at this, I don't want to share best practices. No, we're here to share best practices.
Right, like you said, community. Everyone comes together.
Absolutely. So with all that being said, we got on, we did it. We actually were very, very blessed, and we went running pretty quick. We were able to have some really, really cool suppliers on. We had some really cool detailers. We had a great opportunity to work with a couple of suppliers. We teamed up with MacShine for a while. We were kind of with them and doing some of their promotion stuff with them. And so there was a lot of opportunity, and it was fun. We had a lot of good time back and forth. He was in California, I'm in Phoenix, so we kind of go back and forth, and we would do different work together. And so it was good. I mean, I look back and I don't regret any of the stuff that we did. I think it was fun. I think that sometimes I think we could do more, but it's hard. It's hard when you got two different people in two different states and two people running.
And you've got all the other stuff going on in your life too at the same time. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's challenging. So it came to a point where we had discussed potentially maybe joining or having this partner come to Phoenix. And that was a discussion and discussed about coming out and maybe working together and collabing and doing some stuff together and kind of growing the podcast, but also kind of working together. And long story short, not to get long and drawn and boring, but we got to the point where we're getting close to that time, and we discussed it, and we really never had something set and planned, like on paper, where it was official, so that we knew exactly what our business plan and our game plan was. Because coming from corporate, like Aaron said, for over 18 years, I was in upper executive management and things like that, and a vice president. So I'm very structured. I like to know what's going on. I don't like to go in not knowing what's happening. So having a business plan, and that's just being a business owner, you want to know what is going on, because you got to know what your costs are. You got to know what's going to make sense for both parties, and whatever else goes along with that when it comes to joining up. But so at that point, there was a relationship that took place with him, and they wanted to move out here. They started looking at places. We never officially said that there was a set time, but he and she initially assumed that they were going to initially be moving out very quickly. I had told them, at that time, the places you're looking at, I don't think they're the best. I think you should wait. because they're not the best location and they're not ideal for where you want to be if we're going to be doing this stuff. They supposedly, and I don't know the whole story, what they have said, but they had said that, they initially went ahead with it and moved forward, and they assumed or accused that I initially had charged or had them lose money on a deposit on an apartment. Have this being said, I would have never, as I told Aaron, I had never would have known any of this was going on unless another detailer had told me, because the detailer informed me, what do you mean? You don't know what you did? You don't know what you did? Why you're talking?
I think regardless, we're all adults and we make decisions on our own, and no one puts a gun to our head and tells us to do anything. I don't even know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just in general, like if I was in that situation and I jumped the gun and decided to move somewhere else, I think I would put a little more effort into that.
I agree with that 100%, especially if it's that big.
I can't blame anyone else.
Change like that.
Yeah, that's pretty big. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's. I don't want to. It can get really boring along, but the thing is there was a lot of loose parts that didn't add up for me. Again, like I said, there wasn't an official plan or agenda of how we were going to attack it and how we were going to go about it, which was very uneasy for me. Because I'm the one that has the business out here. So you'd be coming into my business because your business is operating there. So that was a big difference, and figuring out how that was going to make sense financially for both of us.
There's a lot of factors to him.
So many. And he still had children back there. So that was uneasy, and I never really understood how he was going to work that, because he had kids back there. How are you going to move here and have kids there? There was a lot of kind of stuff that was loose, that was all over the place, that it didn't really wasn't tied together. A lot of moving pieces. So,
I agree. Anyway, and then I guess what the worst part about the whole tragedy behind the whole thing is the way that it kind of fell apart. At least the way that it fell apart, for me and on our end. And not to Eric and I, Papa Smurf and I, we talk pretty much every day on his drive into work. We get a half an hour where we just kind of shoot the crap and just go back and forth and talk about whatever. Usually it's about his mom. Speaking of which, in case you guys weren't aware, there you go. So anyway, that being said, there was after the story was told to me, and which was hard for me, because like I was ghosted as the supply, as my West Coast distributor. Trying to get a hold of him and make contact with him was very, very difficult. And then when I finally did make contact, he told me this huge, for lack of a better word, and again, I'm not trying to talk disparagingly, but he gave me this huge sob story. And on the surface, you're like, you're kidding me. There's no way. Like, are you kidding me? He did that to you? And da-da-da-da-da. But then, like I was telling Eric, I was like, there's enough weirdness to this story that I'm going to withhold any kind of judgment until I hear the whole thing. Until, you know what I mean? And you and I kind of texted back and forth, and you're like, I'll reach out to you. I'll call you. And I didn't hear from you for a little while. And it was just like, it was just a weirdness. There was just a weirdness. And like you said, because we are such a community, because we are such a family, I pride myself on this being the Phoenix family.
Yep.
Because we're all so interwoven in each other's lives, it was weird. It was weird on every aspect of everything. And then at the same time, it was also really, really sad, because, I thought that there was something really, really special with the detail dive. I mean? I enjoyed it. Like I subscribed to you on Spotify and all that stuff.
Absolutely.
It sounded like it was a really special thing that you guys had.
It was good, and it was hard for me. And I think I felt bad because I had spoke to another gentleman, Christopher Bonds, because he's pretty close. I'm pretty close with him too. And
he is awesome. He is awesome.
And we were able to have him on our podcast. So we were actually the first ones to get him on social media. And he thanks me and thanks us every day, because it really blew up once he took off on our, on the social media side, which, he's a stud. He's awesome. His product's amazing. And I just had the opportunity to really talk to him, just because, he he understood, and he had similar situations that had taken place with him and one of his best friends at one time on a business
It sucks when things like that happen.
And it stinks because I wanted to say stuff, but I knew on a professional level I needed to take myself back out of the situation. I needed to continue to worry and focus on my business, and that's what I did. I knew behind closed doors, and I saw on social media, I heard from a lot of people, and I didn't engage.
You took the high road, yeah.
Yeah, and I knew, and I've heard a lot of stuff going on behind closed doors about me and what I was doing and this and that, and I didn't play into it, because it's like, it's not, I said, things will play itself out, and there'll be an opportunity for everyone to see the truth. Like Aaron said, there's 3 sides of the story. There's 2, and then there's the truth. And I always told several of the detailers that had reached out to me, I said, you know what? There's 2 sides of the story, and I'm going to leave it at that.
All right, so let's dive into that if you don't mind. I'm going to segue, and it's because it's very personal to me as well.
Yeah.
Right around the Black Friday Pay It Forward campaign, which runs between November, Thanksgiving, Black Friday, and Christmas. We do it every year. We do the giveaway. There was somebody from my old life. There was somebody from my old life that was really running their mouth and talking a lot of disparaging crap. And I didn't address it at all. Thankfully, the Phoenix family swarmed like nobody's business. I can't believe that you kicked that hornet's nest over. But I felt like just like you're saying, I felt like the right thing to do would be not give it any teeth, not address it, ignore it, and move on. People that know me, people that know Phoenix and knows what Phoenix stands for, they'll come to their own conclusions.
Absolutely.
But I will say this, though. You took a couple of black eyes by being silent. I took a couple of black eyes by being silent. I had a couple of people that I thought were 100% in Phoenix's camp all of a sudden going, well, this person said that you were a douchebag, and so therefore you must be a douchebag. And I was like, wait a second. Yeah. Like, everything that I have said and done, my actions speak louder than words. And all you're hearing are words from this faction. Yeah. And I mean, if you want me to dig up all the skeletons and air all the dirty laundry, I know where all the bodies are buried. The bodies are buried. If you really want to start, a trench war, I could get into the weeds. But I felt that it didn't do Phoenix any good.
Yep.
I don't need the drama, and quite frankly, all of that stuff is in my rearview mirror. They're not my competitors. We don't fish in the same ponds. We don't even fish for the same species. Yep. So they're insignificant to me.
Absolutely.
So I felt that I shouldn't even give it warrant. But the question is, at what point does your pride get hit? Where I know for a fact, Matt, from the stories that I heard was, don't call me, don't text me, don't tag me in any kind of post. I don't want anything to do with you. Absolutely. And then 3 months later, they're like, hey, Matt, I'm really sorry. I probably shouldn't have jumped to conclusions like that.
Absolutely.
How do we, rise above it or stay above it, but yet at the same time kind of defend ourselves from absolute rubbish?
It's like a fine line.
It is a fine line. And I think, as I mentioned to you, Aaron, I really, really, really wanted Detail Dive to work. No matter what was going on and what the situation I mentioned to you, I had sent 20 to 30 emails. I have sent 30 text messages. I have sent, and I'm not lying, these aren't exaggerations. I have it all saved, voicemails of trying to get a hold of this individual, and no response. Not one word. Not one call.
But then they're doing all the talking behind closed doors. So that's.
So I had no idea. Like I said, I would have never known if this one detailer would have never told me what was going on. I'm like, It's like, so it was, I have all the stuff. And again, my reputation that I had built here in Phoenix with a lot of the detailers, with some of the suppliers and things like that, was more important to me. I said, as hard as it was, and I struggled, don't get me wrong, I struggled. I had months that it was eating me. It was just tearing me, because I'm someone that's like, hey, let's come to the table and let's hash it out, and then be gone, or
leave it in the past. Just keep it moving.
Or we leave on good terms and we just go our own separate ways. But there was nothing. There was just zero communication, which that was the hardest part for me, and it is today. And now I've gotten, as I told Aaron, is I've gotten better and I've gotten over it, because I'm like, dude, I've got other things I've got to do. I've got to continue to sustain my business. I need to continue to be successful in that. I still want to continue to do the podcast industry, and that's something I'm working on right now. And I'm already getting ready to launch that. Are you
going to do a co-host thing again?
I have a co-host, but I've been trying to get a hold. He's out of North Carolina, and it's been a hit and miss. So I may end up
I have a comment highlighted of a person that I think would be deadly on your show. Like that would be a grand slam. I don't know. I mean, I know that he's got his own thing going on, but I don't know if he has a podcast. Eddie, I'm calling you out, buddy. Throw your hat in the ring. It sounds like Matt's taking resumes.
It is like I've already have the name going. I've already got the logo, and I've already got the artwork was going right now. So we will. I've got the name, and I may give you the name, but so
that's good for you.
Curmudgeon's Corner exclusive. What? What? I wish I was more high tech. We could be like breaking news.
Yeah, so you got to have this big bang, and then I'm gonna come in
right?
with this big.
Yeah, no, we're very low.
No, but you know what? I'll tell you, there's still several detailers and several people that I felt through the detail dive, just to kind of wrap that up. That I felt very close to, and I thought that we had a relationship, and I don't have that anymore, because they've decided to go whatever direction or do what they're thing, and it's too bad, because there's a lot of people I like, and I hope that eventually that will eventually come back around, or if not, that eventually someday they'll understand that this is what it is, and unfortunately there was more to the story than what you probably have heard. So but at that point, at this time, it's like there's so much out there that I still want to do, and I don't feel like I've accomplished, and I really, really want to make this detail dive thing come back to life, and to really extend it and continue to grow it and move forward, because I think there's so many detailers that I'm able to see on social media, message, make comments that I really, really want to get onto the platform and really have them shine and let their names be seen. And that's what it's about for me. That's where my success comes from, is seeing people thrive and be successful. I'm thankful and blessed with all the things I've been able to do for 17 years and have my business and have great clients and great people like you guys and suppliers that believe in me and want me to use their products and demonstrate them. I mean, it's an honor and it's thrilling to me. But it's so important to me to see other detailers thrive and be successful and really try to accomplish and achieve their goals that they have set for them. So that's really what I want to do. And then I think I want to continue to do that with obviously having suppliers and people on as well. I mean, that's going to be
super cool that you get to redo this again, but kind of on your own terms.
Yep.
So it's really cool that you get to do it again.
Yeah. And I think it'll be good because I love having Aaron's podcast. I think it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have Aaron back on. I mean, Christopher Biobombs is.
Well, you got to bring her with me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have both of you, Eileen and both of you, and I'll have Eileen on as a detailer too, separate. So
yeah, absolutely.
I think there's so many great people that and I mean, I've met so many great people just through Detail Dive that I have to give all recognition to that opportunity that brought this together. And brought me to the people that I'm with now, along with that I had probably would have never met, and I think that's something that you have to take and cherish that too.
Matt, I'm really encouraged to hear you say that, the whole E.O.D, the evolve or die, what didn't really work, the phoenix rising from the ashes, what didn't work before, you're not so much reinventing yourself, but you have a passion and you have that drive that should not be set aside and put on put on the shelf. Like that's something that I've always admired about you. And even listening back to the other podcasts, your passion comes through in what you're saying. And
yeah, absolutely.
Like Aaron said, I was a little. I always tell Aaron at the podcast, I always felt this way. Even when Aaron said, I felt like I was in control, but I didn't want it to be that way. But it always came about and came off that way, and I always wanted my partner to be a part of it. I wanted them to take the initiative. I wanted to do. And as I had that conversation with Aaron about that, and I just couldn't get that person to do it, so I felt like I was kind of running the show, and he would just be kind of there and just would agree,
but at least now you have a second chance to do it.
Absolutely.
I mean,
so
now whatever you thought you could do it now, like
absolutely
100 times
I
better.
agree 100%. And it's time to really get everyone up and running and make this a good thing. So I'm excited. I think there's a lot of good things happening. There's a lot of good people out there, and I can't wait to get them on and hear their stories and get back to it. So we're excited.
Matt, in the honor of true transparency, I will say that when Eileen and I had this conversation about, I'd like to bring you on board. I used you two as an example. I was like, I definitely do not want.
Absolutely.
I don't want you to be.
Agree.
I said I don't want you to be. Like it's not the Aaron show with Eileen. It's
100%.
Aaron and Eileen. I don't want you to be a silent partner, and I don't want to be 100. Like the last 15 minutes. But like, well, do you have anything to add, Eileen? I said you have to be a part of the show, and if I,
100.
If I start to dominate, just tell me to shut the F up. Hey man,
absolutely,
you're talking too much.
Absolutely. And that's what I want. Like that's the part where if I have a co-host, because I really do want to have a co-host, I want someone that's going to help and really be a partnership. And I want someone to be able to take the initiative and say, hey, take the initiative. Let you start this podcast episode off and run with it, and I'll help be part of it. But I don't want to always have to be the one that's starting it off and ending it and doing it. I think it's a joint effort. And that's the part I really am hoping and looking for eventually. So, but we'll get
find
there.
it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You'll find
so,
it. Absolutely.
not to be that guy, but actually, Tim is that guy. Hawaii Tim wants to know what's the name. What's the name of the podcast?
The name of the podcast.
Ah!
So
Phoenix exclusive.
Yeah, exactly. So those that know me, I'm a coach. I coach football. I've coached football for over 20 years. I've coached in high school. I've had club teams and things like that. So I'm extremely passionate about sports and coaching. A lot of that energy in the podcast comes that way too, just the coaching mentality. So with that being said, and I wanted a little bit of that, it is going to be the X and O's of Extra Mile.
The X and O of Extra Mile?
Yep.
Huh. There you go.
So I'll have the logo, and you guys will be able to see it, but it'll literally X and O's of Extra Mile. So really talking about.
Oh, I get it, like a playbook, like
absolutely.
The X's and O's.
The dry erase board, the John Madden.
Sorry,
I'm
not. I don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is X and O's? Got it.
Yeah. So those that don't understand, X and O's are terms for football.
I'm like kisses and hugs. What are you talking about?
So, but the X and O's are going to be really
X's
kind of
and O's, kisses and hugs. Extra Mile, kisses and hugs.
Exactly. We're going to be kissing and hugging. No, the X and O's, and so it'll be just the same way. X and O's of detailing. You're really putting it on a board, putting it.
Yeah, that's cool.
What's the plan?
Really cool.
And,
I like
and getting it going, driven out, moving and executing. So, that's my thing. We're having that illustration go and put together right now, and so we'll have it running and going shortly. So,
well, Hawaii Tim approves.
All right.
The playbook. I like it.
The playbook.
The playbook of football. Absolutely.
The playbook of detailing.
And it allows me to open up a little bit, because if I wanted to bring somebody in that doesn't necessarily be the detailer, may it be a coach, may it be someone in that realm of things that I'm affiliated with, I can bring it in and have a little bit of that just to kind of chase it and stir it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Who is the co-host? That's a very good question. As Aaron says, Aaron, what did you say earlier? Resumes are.
Oh yeah, resumes are currently being accepted. That's right. Resumes are currently being accepted.
Send in your resumes now, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
You heard it here first. Be at the top of the pile.
Yes. No, so I'm excited. It'll be fun. I'm excited to have people on. I'm excited to meet new people and be able to, like I said, I love hearing people's stories and where they come from and where they go and what they plan to go to, and it gives me energy and gives me passion to continue to do what I'm doing or learn from them. I think that's the biggest thing for me is I love learning from other people. I mean, I think there's no pride. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, as I've talked about before on previous podcasts that, there are those out there just in detailing industry that have a little bit more pride and they don't want to share. They don't want to be a part of the detail community, which is, it's sad to me because I think there's so much out there. There's so many cars. There's so many people. And why not help each other? Why not help us become better? Why not improve and find better ways to do things and improve our skills and our time? And, that's what we're here for. So,
right.
But what are the requirements? Asking for a friend. You know what? I don't feel like, at first when we did the Detail Dive podcast, I was like, I want to have someone that's in the detail community because I think it's going to be good that we do. And I at this time, I don't think I'm going to go that route. I don't think it has to be a requirement. I'm okay because I think it's going to maybe open up and bring a little bit more to the table that may be interesting to other people, may bring other people onto the show. So we're not just exclusive to just detailers. So there's not like a huge requirement list that you have to meet quota to be a part of. So.
All right. So, I know that we started off making this kind of jokey, but I mean, like, are you consider like, would you be really open to people reaching out to you and
absolutely
and saying, hey, you know what, I'd like to, even if it's just like a guest host spot.
100. I've had a couple detailers that have already asked if they would like to do some co-hosting, and some of them have said yes.
They haven't want to commit it. They can talk. They can submit.
You can send it to Extra Mile Detail 1 at Gmail.
Extra Mile Detail 1 at Gmail.
Kissesandhugs@gmail.com.
Kissesandhugs@gmail.com.
Yeah, I'm going to have to change my email. I'm going to have to have another email. Yeah.
All right, there it is. All right, so if you really are interested in throwing your hat into the ring and maybe even just like as a trial, obviously absolutely. I'm not speaking on behalf of Matt, but as a trial, absolutely. Throwing your hat into the ring, drop Matt an email at extramiledetail1@gmail.com, and maybe your peanut butter can match up with his chocolate and make magic.
There you go. And you can feel free to text me too. I mean, that's easy too. We can call and talk. It doesn't have to be through email if you don't want to email. I'm pretty open. Easy going.
Do you have access to your phone number?
You can put it on there. I don't know if
what is it?
It's 480.
Hold on. Oh, crap. Wait. All right, go ahead. 480.
221 3809.
3809. Okay. There you go.
There you go. There it is.
All right. So if you're interested and you want to, dip your toe into the wild world of podcasting and or live streaming, this is the way to do it. Matt is an excellent fellow, and he definitely knows his way around the ring. So get on board. By the way, this phone number is not to be mistaken with this phone number. So try not to get those two confused. That joke will live in infamy forever.
I love it. That's great.
Look at it. Tim, Hawaii Tim just keeps throwing up everybody's names. Hawaii Tim wants everybody to co-host. Riggs, Titan Tim, Christy, everybody. He just wants just to be the the Royal Rumble of podcasting.
I love it. Yes, let's hey, no shame. No shame. Hey, it's a good thing. Not a problem. I mean, and it's fun. I think that's the thing is once you get into it, you realize the fun, but the excitement and the opportunity that it allows you to really get to know people I know some people maybe camera stage fright and things like that, but you know what? Once you've done it, that pretty much goes away. You know, you really don't. The biggest thing is just to be yourself. And I think that's what people look for, is as long as you're you and not trying to pretend or be someone that you're not. That's the biggest part. I think that's important. People respect that more.
Right, absolutely.
Well, we are coming up to the 1 hour mark. Traditionally, we like to give stuff away on this show. We try to reward it looks like 16 viewers that are still hanging out with us on a Saturday night, the night before Easter. Which I'm sure people have kids that they're trying to, dye eggs with and all that other stuff. Tim needs a co-host. Mary, when does Tim do his podcast?
He needs 2 co-hosts.
Oh, he needs 2 co-hosts. Thank you. Too much apple juice.
All right, I got you, Aaron.
I'm bad, thank you. See, that's why you're here.
I love it.
I got my backup. I got my backup.
I love it.
He doesn't know how to read, so Eileen is here to translate. We should give away something. We did just come out with Typhon. Typhon is actually.
I'll tell you, that stuff is unreal. I got a big detail coming up. I used it on those mats the other day, and I was blown away. But I can't wait to put it on this detail, because it is that stuff. Besides the fact that the power and the dilution ratio and how strong you can use it for, the smell is unreal. Like, right? It is so good. It smells
did I
so
tell
good.
Aaron or Eric? I don't know, man. I smell Typhon in my dreams,
dude. I'm like,
it's so good.
It's somehow this is my take right here. Aaron, you and Christopher need to get together, and you need to come up with air freshener with that smell.
Can I?
No.
I don't want to.
No.
Don't say anything.
No.
Don't say anything.
Did I already do that? Did you?
No. No.
Oh,
it smells so good, man. I'm ready.
All right, listen. I'll tell you this.
I know, it smells so good.
Our April lineup is off the hook. We got Fab Automotive Detailing coming up on the 13th, and then I have Christian coming on the show on the 27th, and we have some incredible announcements to talk about.
Love it.
If anybody's going to miss a show, do not miss the 27th.
Yeah, you don't miss.
Christian, not only is he a fireball in and of himself,
oh, he's great,
but he's local to me. He's only 40 minutes away. And so, we're like, hey, let's do lunch. Let's collaborate. Let's do this. Let's do that. Da, 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 da. And I mean, his energy is so infective. Like, it's just infectious. Excuse me.
Yeah.
It's just so infectious. His energy and his mirth. I love all of his.
He's like forever amped up.
Right? Exactly.
What I love is that he's so energetic, but he's so positive, and he has such a clear, open mind, and always have got great ideas and feedback. If you want to go talk, there's long conversations we have on the phone, he and I, and man, his input and his take and his support.
He's a passionate guy.
He really is, and what a better. I mean, he is just really, really, really cool, and I'm excited that Aaron, you and him are team, because the last conversation I had on the phone with him, probably 3 weeks ago, I said, dude, have you met Aaron? Have you met Aaron? Because I always said, dude, you guys are close together. I don't know why you don't meet. I don't know why you don't. He's like, I plan on. I know he's been reaching out to me.
You know what? No, he's lying to you. It's my fault. For at least 6 months, we've been trying to sync up, and then I forget what happened, but I just texted him, and I'm like, enough with the bullshit. We're connecting, and whatever it takes, we're connecting. There's no reason why we're not connecting. It's stupid at this point. And then I ended up calling him a couple of Saturdays ago, and it was magical. It was having a conversation with him and hearing his vision for his company, and how it perfectly meshes with the vision for my company. It was so, let's collaborate. And he was like, I've been waiting for you to ask me that. And it's just
so awesome, dude. Two awesome
so
guys.
pumped about this. Like, being able to work with a juggernaut.
I mean, two awesome companies, two awesome guys. I mean, I think that's made in heaven, baby. I think it's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
It really is. And I just saw that comment. That's another good question. That Titan smell is unbelievable too.
Thank you.
That's another great smell.
This is a conversation that I'm going to have with Christian. It was funny when we were because Titan had to be the flagship. It was the first product that I launched, so it had to be the best of the best of the best. Titan had to it had to check off all the boxes, and because if your first product falls short, you're not going to get a second chance. You only have one chance to make a first impression. So Titan being the flagship for Phoenix, it had to be stellar, and it's really, really, again, divine intervention that has happened to Phoenix so many times. I did a Google search and I was just like, what is the most attractive scent to men? And it came up as vanilla. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, it's science, so let's go with vanilla. And the blender that I had at the time, he was like, I don't have vanilla. And I was like, what do you mean you don't have vanilla? It's a very common scent. And he was like, I don't have it. And I was like, well, all right, Google, what is the second most pleasant scent? And they were like, watermelon. And I'm like, all right, watermelon it is. You got watermelon? And he was like, yeah, I got watermelon. I'm like, all right, let's do it. Watermelon's number 2. And we lucked out because I think vanilla would have sucked. I think, you know what I mean? Like, oh, there he is. Andrew, I hope that you stay on throughout the whole show because we are going to talk about you later.
Love it.
Yeah. So anyway, so here we are, 1 hour mark. Right before we go into our next segment, which is the Now and Then segment that Eileen hosts, we need to figure out what we're giving away. So I say we give away a bottle of Typhon, and we need to have a trivia-based question to go with it. So Matt, what do you think would be a good question for our audience?
Let's see. I am going to say, trying to think of what.
I mean, I kind of have a good one, but at the same time, knowing that people are out there that are just equally as hive mind as I am, I don't necessarily know if it'll be a great question. Because they're all going to get the answer. So you know what? Also, Eileen and I did come up with the Superados of the world and the Keith Firebirds of the world. We are putting in a new rule for winning stuff, and that is you cannot win twice within a 6-issue or 6 episode 6 episodes, which is basically 3 months. So you can't win. Eileen and I are trying to do 2 episodes a month. So basically you can't win twice in a 3-month period is all we're trying to say to make it more fun for everybody.
Absolutely.
So Superado, you are disqualified. And
he said no.
Yep, Keith Firebird. I haven't seen you. I haven't seen you in the room yet, but Keith Firebird, you're also disqualified. And I'm not sure. I think Christy won here recently. I don't know. I'm on my second.
We'll start keeping. I'll start keeping track.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, it looks like Dee, Christy, Titan 10.
Oh, you have a list. I like it. Okay, good.
I write all this stuff down because I know I'm not going to remember this tomorrow. Are you kidding me? Like, I have to listen through 4 hours of me talking. I'm not doing that. It's easier to just write it down. And nobody wants to listen to me for 4 hours. Anyway, all right. So here's the question, and it's going to come really, really quick. So be prepared. But the question is, what was the date that Matt Ayers first appeared on Curmudgeon's Corner? What is the date?
There you go. Good one.
Matt Ayers first appeared on Curmudgeon's Corner.
Like it.
Dun, dun, dun. Here we go. Oh, they're all just rolling in. Everybody's answering all at one time. As in, nobody's answering.
I was gonna say what?
They're all looking it up, right? They're all looking it up right now. That's why I said they're gonna go look it up. March 30th. Nope. Sorry, Becca, that's not correct. Tim, sorry, that's not correct. I don't believe I was alive in the year 1000, Riggs. Nope. 200 BC. Miller, sorry. Nope, that's not it. 555 is a winning
Come
number,
on,
but that's not the
guys.
number that we're looking for.
Not today. Before today.
I mean, Titan smells like Easter candy.
Yeah, it does. Actually, that's a very good analogy. I like it.
All right.
Aaron, so starting from
Saturday,
0
March
right
30th.
now?
No, that is not correct either. Like, you guys can literally look it up. It's not hard to
Can we call in?
Yeah, Tim, we're going to do call-ins in a second.
Lifeline. Here we go.
Yeah.
Easter 2023.
Becca, you're right there. You're right there, Becca. You're knocking on heaven's door. Let's get a little bit more specific.
Come on, Becca, for that Typhon. Let's
You're
go.
right there. You're right there for a free Typhon kit. I might. A kit comes with
For a kit?
Kit, yes.
Wow.
It's a concentrated formula that comes with an empty labeled bottle and a dilution chart, so you know exactly. There it is. Mary got it. Mary got it.
Oh, there it is.
Bingo. Mary.
Yeah.
Winner, chicken dinner. I think. Has Mary won in the last 3 months?
I think she won last week. Or
She won last week?
The last episode.
Did she really?
Yeah.
I don't need it. Yeah, I don't need it. All right, so Becca, there it is. All right, so Becca, send me. I see I did all my homework this morning. Send me an email, aaron@phoenixeod.com, with your shipping information, and Becca, we will send that out to you.
Yay, Becca!
Congratulations, Becca. Thanks for supporting the show, and thanks for knowing your stuff.
Typhon kit. What's in a Typhon kit?
Typhon kit is it's a pint bottle of concentrate. It comes with an empty labeled bottle with a trigger and a dilution chart, so that you can make the dilution to whatever your job specifications are. And
Becca, I don't know
the difference between Typhon and Kraken. Kraken is like a sledgehammer degreaser, where Typhon is more of an assassin. It's extremely powerful. You can use it straight if you have to, like on spot detailing, if you have a real problem area. But it's also gentle enough that you don't have to worry about scorching something or burning, some of the more sensitive interior components, leathers, pleathers. Obviously I would always try suede on a very inconspicuous area just to make sure, because suede can be very finicky.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I threw it on my steamer yesterday for the first time with a little mini biobomb thing in there.
Ooh.
I don't know if that was like too much, but I mean it did the work. Whatever it was I needed it to do, it did it. So
the one that won Becky. Where's she from?
Becca, she's Illinois, Indiana.
Oh, okay,
she
cool.
told me. She's
I always like to
Sorry,
hear
Becca, I don't remember.
People are from. Is she a detailer or no?
I don't. Not a I think she just
does our sign. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Illinois. See, I know it was one of them.
Illinois.
There
Very
you go.
cool. Awesome. Good to know.
Becca Green, Typhon.
I don't think I know any other detailers from Illinois.
There's
Steph. Is she Illinois?
No, Steph is Ohio.
Ohio.
There's the Supply Warehouse is Illinois.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Got stuck candy out for me. Oh wow, very cool.
Yeah, right.
I love it. Love it.
Yeah, we're really, really super happy with Typhon. I couldn't have been happier with that, the way it worked out. And it was, and I love being able to be so hands-on with our products. That's the biggest difference between being a relabeler of another blender, is that we have the ability to work one-on-one with the chemist. And he was saying originally, like the level of pH on Typhon was like, I think around 12, and maybe even a little bit higher. And I said, well, the idea of it being that high as an interior cleaner, I don't like that idea. And he said, well, the way that you build it, the way that it's structured, it's a safe high pH. And I was like, yeah, but we've been educating our customers and our people that you have to be very careful about pHs, and the idea of having to re-educate or even backtrack on what you were saying before, where high pHs are dangerous, don't use a high pH, it's not safe, and then you come out with a high pH and you say, oh, it's a safe high pH. You kind of put yourself in the category of those other companies that are just constantly throwing, they're going back and forth. You don't need a panel prep. Oh, you need a panel prep. Oh, you don't need this. You need to do that. Or, I don't want to be that. There has to be a level of consistency and a level of transparency.
Yep.
And so, talking to the chemist, and it's just like, all right, well, if it's at 12, is it possible to walk it back without impacting its power?
Yep.
Can you neutralize that pH and walk it back without compromise? And what I love about this chemist is let's find out. Let's try it.
Awesome.
Let's try it. You know what I mean? And he has never said no to me, as ridiculous as I can be. He's never said no to me, but it's always, let's check it out. And we had success. It comes in at a 9.5. And like I was saying on the last episode, 9.5, that's what the smart water is. When they do that alkaline water that you can drink, it's a 9.5. So, it's literally as safe as drinking water. Now, disclaimer, do not drink it. Please don't drink it. But as far as pHs are concerned, it is as safe as that drinking water that's over there. So I was really, really excited that we could do that. And as you guys have all tested it and seen, it is still super powerful.
Oh, dude, very powerful. And I didn't even go with the strict, I did a lot. I think, what did I do? On those carpets that were greased, I think I did 50-50.
Yeah. Riggs, that will never happen. I will die first, right? Seriously. I will die before I let that genie out of the bottle. He is the greatest single secret weapon that I have, and it will remain that way. And I don't know what technology's out there that could remove blurs and filter sounds. And nope.
I love it.
Nope. Never going to happen. I'm not even dance with the devil on that one.
Not worth it.
Yeah, I've been able to get through everything 10-1. I haven't yet needed to cut it down. I'm lying. I think I tried it 8-1 the other day, but there was no difference. I didn't notice it. It was doing the same. It was performing the same way that it did when it was 10-1. So it's it's really great.
Yeah, Becca. Yes, his name is Walter White, and he is the one who knocks. And my secret weapon is
Eric's mom.
Yeah, but that's for the after party. It's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I can't believe that you made me say that, Riggs.
On Easter weekend?
On Easter weekend. Yeah, y'all need Jesus. All right. I think that's a good segue into the second part, or it's the second segment, which is where Eileen takes over, and she usually has a series of questions that she likes to talk to our host about, our guest about. And that is the now and then segment of the show. And then when we get to be really professional and have a producer, that'll be some screen stuff, and it'll be like, now. Anyway, you're up.
Alrighty. So Matt, first question is, what is a tool that you bought that you feel now you could have or should have waited, or maybe not even purchased at all? And maybe it's not current. Obviously, you're pretty established in your process, so I'm sure there's nothing new like that. But maybe a tool in your past.
In the past, trying to think of what would be a tool that I think it's gonna be silly, but I've got a polisher, probably every polisher out there.
Yeah.
It's probably my biggest thing, and I think that the hype as a detailer, and I say this to new detailers and even veteran detailers or those been in it, is people can get persuaded and bought in and swooped into this whole new polisher, this and that. And I have bought several polishers, from the Rupes to the Flex, and I feel that, and we had this conversation on our podcast, that I can get the job done with paint corrections and getting the results that I want to, with not spending the $600 to $700 on a polisher.
Right.
And I think that's my biggest regret, is even now, is not spending the money, or not spending that money on those polishers, just because it was the name and it was the hype of having that so-called polisher, the Rupes or the Flex. They're great polishers. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not bashing them. It's just the price point for a new detailer to someone. I think that would be my biggest thing. Today I use the Milwaukee cordless one, and I have, like I said, I've got all. I have probably one of every Max Shines polishers. I have a Rupes, I have a Flex, I've had Adams polisher, and I'll tell you, my Milwaukee, cordless is money. It's just money, and it was half the price that I paid for any of those other polishers.
Right.
So that would be something I would say. I think I would regret spending the money. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've gone pretty far with a Harbor Freight.
Absolutely. I got one of those too.
I mean, I just upgraded it, and it makes the experience nicer, right? It doesn't feel like, I tell Tim all the time, it doesn't feel like I'm polishing with a jackhammer, but it still does. I mean, I think it's the person that's doing it.
100%.
Less the tool that you're using.
100.
Have either of you used this Brake Buster stuff? There's 2 knocks on it already.
I'll tell you right now, Brake Buster is.
Yeah.
Who makes that?
PNS.
Oh, penis. Right, got it.
Penis.
On to the next question.
Yeah.
All right. What's one thing that you have in your arsenal that if you were missing on your next detail, you would struggle or kick yourself for not having?
Oh, I'll tell you right now. My first tool immediately, my Tornador, my air gun.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
100%.
For me.
I use it on wheels. I use it on mats. I use it for vents. I use it for seats. I use it for everything. I can't imagine not having, and I see detailers out and about in communities and neighbors when I'm doing them and things like that, and they'll come up. I always will go up to the detailers that are 2 houses down and go talk to them, ask them how their business is doing, how things going, how long they've been doing it. And there's many of them that don't even carry an air tank. Some of them just can't, or they don't have the ability. And I'm like, let me just tell you one tool that will speed up your process, and your results will be 10 times nicer and better than anything you could possibly do. Because an air blower ain't doing it. I'm telling you. Air blower can get you by, but it's not going to get you the results that a Tornador or one of those are going to do.
I have the little gun with the reservoir that I put rinseless. I Typhon in there. So, oh my God. Interiors like cut in half.
Money.
Because just that thing alone, and it was a tool that I like. Do I get it? Do I not get it? Should I get something else?
Worth the investment.
And I was like, I'm never looking back.
Never.
That was like the best money that I ever spent. The one tool in there, the best money I ever spent. Yeah,
such a multi-purpose use tool that can be used for a detailer and can increase your time and sufficiency and your results to a whole nother level, which I can't even tell you. Like, I can't imagine not having it. I would probably cry.
Me too. That's what caused me to write this question, because I was sitting there thinking, like, what would I do without that thing? I would just give up.
I would give up. Like, I don't even, like, what do I do? I'm thinking about now, like, those mats, or like under the seats, getting everything in, and blowing the wheel water out of all the wheel wells, the tire or the wheels, and I don't know,
not happening. All right, cool. What is a skill that you've learned that has proven to be the most beneficial for you as a detailer or as a business owner? And this doesn't have to be a physical skill that you learn, but possibly learning more about SEO or a polishing class or upgrading a tool or anything like that.
How to classify your expenses on QuickBooks.
Yeah, I do. QuickBooks is a big one that I use. I think I haven't done. I'll say at the beginning of my stages, there's a company out here that used to put on classes for free, and they were a big supplier. They supplied like all the major brands and their polishers. So I would go there, and at times they would have these bigger Maguires come. They had Rupes come, and I was at these classes, and you basically go there, and they just provided these classes, which was awesome. And the representatives of these companies would come, and then they would demonstrate, and you could get on the hood, and you could do the wet sanding, you could do polishing. They would demonstrate all their products, and then they would have food trucks there. It was really, really cool. I learned a lot from there, from these individual people. And Maguires was there, Rupes, Flex. All the major chemical companies actually showed up too, which was really awesome. But I'll tell you, I think something maybe this is not aligned with this beneficial, but I think my biggest thing that I always try to implement or to share with detailers or other people is the relationships that I'm able to make with my clients. My communication. I think the communication side of the thing is so big. It's so huge on how you manage your team, how you communicate, how do you operate with your clients. My clients are not just a client where I go and I gain money from. They become friends. They become people that I actually associate with and I speak to, and I know them. I know their family. They know me. They know my family. So when they tell me stories and they're sharing their personal experiences, when I go back to their home, I'm following up and asking them, hey, how was your vacation? How was your son's tournament? How was your daughter's soccer game? So that I think is so huge when it comes to being able to really thrive and to exceed and to be successful as a business, because they see that you value them and not just their car and their money. And then they start becoming more valued to the fact that, hey, I'm gonna share. I like this guy, or I like this service. I like that he's about me. And besides the fact that he does a great job or she does a great job, I want to refer him to other people. And as for me, for all these years, as people all know, mine has been 100% word of mouth and Facebook social media. I have not paid one lick of marketing for all these years. So
Really?
Not one.
Wow.
Yep.
All right, Super Auto just asked a question, I think going back to the last question.
How does a Tornador type tool not just blow crap everywhere and all over the area that's dirty to begin with? It's actually a very good question. So when I use the Tornador, I use it prior to vacuuming, because what happens, it allows me to get all the stuff under the creases, the kick panels, the seat creases, the seat tracks under the seats. And yes, it's going to get all over the place, but I'm able to go and vacuum that up. And then sometimes I have to go and blow a little bit more and vacuum. But I'll tell you, you're getting stuff up that you're not normally going to get up or be able to get through just vacuuming on a normal vacuum.
Do you have to go back over it with a vacuum?
Oh, sometimes I do. Absolutely.
Yeah, usually what I'll do is, especially in that little crack between the door and like the driver where the pedals are, there's always like that strip of just funk in there. So I'll just take it in like short bursts and just pop it through there, and it'll just pick up. And like he said, it kind of pushes everything kind of up.
It does.
But you'll notice once you follow up with a vacuum, that area is like
so
perfect.
Nice. And it's nice to blow on the dash and the cup holders if there's crumbs, because I want to get all that stuff out and so that I can actually go and clean the car vents and the dash. I don't want to have dust bunnies and crumbs on the dash and everything else with my towel. It's just it's easier to have that somewhat clean.
Definitely. All right. What is the weirdest thing that you've ever found while detailing a car?
I don't know if it's PG approved, but
at this time of the podcast, anything goes.
Well, the label on the YouTube channel says not for kids, so do what you got to do. Do what you got to do.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a couple things, but back when I first started, there was guy that's a friend of mine that owns some detailer or some, I should say, dealers that you buy pay here, and out here they catered a lot to the Indian reservations and stuff, so that he'd buy cars at auction. So I would do a lot of them, and they were pretty much trash. There wasn't a lot of help for them. The floors were hammered. They just wanted to get them somewhat little presentable. They weren't going to be new cars, the floors, seats and stuff, but these people drove them, and that's just what they liked. That's just the caliber and the style, because they could afford it and things like that. But some of the things that I saw and found in there were just feces.
Really?
Oh, absolutely.
What?
Feces, food and things that are in there. I found needles in there. I found, I could go on. One of the funniest things I found in one of the cars was, is one of this women's car, or one of the ladies' cars that we did, had this little, I don't know what you even call it. It's a patch thing that you put down where you do your trimming down below. So that was really interesting. But that was, there was. So I found there's been a lot of I've done drugs, needles, feces. There's been a share of a lot of interesting things, gross things.
I'm pretty sure my buddy down here, the local guy that I work with when we're doing product development, he's found weapons, handguns under the seats. Oh, I forgot that was there. And in the great nanny state that is New Jersey, that is way no.
And this guy today, with the trucks that I do every 2 weeks, he's got more guns than probably a gun store. He's a big guy. I mean, here in Phoenix you can carry, but he's got guns in every one of his doors and under his seats every time I clean. Handguns, everything in his glove department, in his console. Yeah, it's crazy.
Do you see that comment?
He's a passion. Well, I don't know if you want to use it after they've used it, but yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm not the only one drinking apple juice tonight, apparently.
Okay. Have you ever had a customer express unrealistic expectations from a detail? So I recently, at the time that I came up with this question, I had a customer who just scheduled a basic in and out detail, right? So which is just quick wipe down, dressing, like super quick, basic stuff. And he had asked me a bunch of questions like, oh, you're not going to take the seats out? You're not going to extract the carpet? And I'm like, that's it's not that kind of party. Like, that's not what we're doing right now. So have you ever had a customer that was like that?
Absolutely. I had I've had several times, but one of them was an old, I guess Yukon or Suburban or whatever. And this individual told me, and I'm very clear. I go through this whole roam of questions on a new client, asking them kind of from what kind of vehicle, year, color, make, has it had a detail? When's the last time I had a detail? Are you looking for deep cleaning, shampoo, stain, pet? I mean, there's a series of questions I go through to really, really understand this vehicle, because I unfortunately don't have the time to go and evaluate the cars before I do them. I just don't.
Right.
I don't have time.
Right.
There are detailers that do that, and maybe that's a good thing. I just don't have time to do it, and it's
me either.
Time and sufficiency and money and everything else. But anyway, so she had said that she just wanted a cleaning. It just needed to be vacuum wiped down, cleaned, or whatever. And I said, well, usually when they're older cars, I get a little leery because I typically know they're going to be probably stained up or have pet hair just because they're older. When I got there, it was similar to what you said. I got there, the seats were stained. They looked like they were black, and they shouldn't have been black. Stains on the carpets were disgusting. There was crumbs and dirt. The doors were just hammered. And she said, well, you said that you could clean this. You were going to clean the interior. You said you would do the cleaning the interior and washing the outside. I said, yes, but I also, do you not remember? That's why I'm very heavily on text messaging. I always like to have a thread of our conversation because I always like to refer back to it. that's why sometimes it's hard for me to just have a conversation on the phone, because then there's not a thread or a line of communication that we had communicated.
So that's why you never answer when I call you. Oh, now
it all makes sense.
No.
Right.
But yeah, so to get to the point, so I said, this isn't something that we can accomplish today. We didn't allot the time. This isn't something that we, I'm happy to do it, but I can tell you what you're wanting to be done. It's going to cost more. It's not going to be the price that I quoted you, because you said you just wanted a cleaning, a basic surface, wipe down, vacuum, cleaning, and a wash. This is going to require some deep detailing and deep cleaning and shampooing to get it to the level that you're wanting to. It's going to cost more, and we're going to have to schedule another time, because I just don't have the time. You're talking 3 hours or so or more to get this stuff done,
Right.
So we obviously didn't get it accomplished. We didn't do it, and she was pretty pissed. She was pretty upset. Yeah. But I just said, unfortunately, I just can't. I didn't allot it, and I didn't know. That's why I asked you the question. So,
right,
it is what it is. I mean, I try. That's what gets me to try to be as thorough with these questions prior, so I don't get into those situations.
So you don't have to have those conversations.
I don't want to have those conversations. Yeah. Plus for you or me or any other detailer, now that you've allotted that time, now you've got that whole window that you've now lost time and you lost money, because your next job may not be lined until 2 hours or whatever, if you can't even get to it. So I just want to be as sufficient up front as I can. I'm not sure it's going to be bulletproof and it's going to be perfect, but at least if I can have an idea what I'm getting into, then I'm a little further ahead. So
I don't know if you saw Papa Smurf's video from this morning, but I mean,
unreal.
It seems like that is the go-to response from every customer, which is, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
That's right. Absolutely.
Like, maybe if you're comparing it to a hoarder's house, it's not that bad, but this is god awful.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they always wanted the discount. No, that's all. I love the question. I had it this week. I get it fairly often. Well, if you do 2 cars, can you do it for this price?
I get that all the time.
Okay, so my time is worth something. I'm mobile, my chemicals. So just because you're giving me another car, you want me to provide the service and use my chemicals for free? Because that's really what you're asking.
Exactly.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, I think that's one of the again, going back and forth with Papa Smurf all the time, that's one of the questions that I propose to him all the time is, like, I appreciate you cutting your friend a break or doing this for that, but it's like how much do you value your time?
Absolutely.
Like there's a value to that. It's not just chemicals and it's just not skill. It's also like how much do you value yourself? Like this could be an hour that you could be spending with your family. This could be 4 hours that you could be spending doing something else, but you're giving it to this customer. So there has to be a value to that time.
You're right. You're exactly right.
It's not like, it's not as simple as I'm selling you this bottle of ginger ale. Here's a bottle. You give me $1. It's I'm using this chemical. Plus, I'm also giving you all of my time and experience that I've learned to master this trade. Yep. My barber used to say, anybody can cut hair, but there's a reason why you come to me, right? And that's
very good.
At the end of the day, that's it.
Very well said. And that's how I feel about detailing too. There's a reason why they continue to come to you. They value your service. They value your quality. And it's worth something. Like you said, Aaron, it's like my time I could be spending with my kids, or I could spend with my wife, or I could be trying to do something with my business, or, there's 1,000 things where everyone's got things going on.
Yep. All right. Well, you kind of answered this earlier. Social media platform have you had the most success with? You said Facebook, right?
Yeah, Facebook. That's where I started, and that's kind of my. If I was to do training courses, and I've thought about that too, on really social media training. Facebook has been 100%, and I'll tell you kind of why I have not had to do any marketing on Facebook. What I did is I really kind of dove into it in the fact that Facebook has so many different groups. And what I did way back in the time, and I continue to do it because there's always new groups, is I have joined so many. I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of groups that I'm joined in Facebook, from neighborhood groups to car groups to retirement communities. And I've gotten into these groups, and I post my work, I post my results, I post what I do. So people are able to see that. So that's basically what I do. I post in these groups, and I've gotten to the point now that in these different neighborhoods, such as my neighborhood and many other neighborhoods and retirement communities, is now I've become the preferred detailer in these communities. So they post me on their page. They say, if you're looking for detail, go to Xtra Mile Mobile Detailing. People message me, they call me. I get calls every day. People asking for services, and it's all through these groups. And I try to tell some of these younger detailers, dude, if you can get on Facebook and get into these groups, write down these community names, go back to Facebook, look and see if they have groups, join their group, post your work in there. I'm telling you, it goes like wildfire, and you will exceed and prosper very quickly. I didn't do Instagram, but I do Instagram. I don't really get a lot from Instagram.
Really? I get more on Instagram than I do from Facebook.
Yeah, I don't get Facebook. I think I said in the last podcast, Facebook for me in this area is like listening to the inner thoughts of people walking around Walmart. It's just like everybody's looking for the detailer that's going to charge you $50 and redo your whole interior.
Yep,
that's not my customer. So I haven't had luck on Facebook, or I haven't been able to find the right group of people that I want as my customer. But Instagram, I have been able to.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And I post on Instagram. I do. I just maybe
you have. Let me interject, Matt. You have great content on Instagram. I'm constantly reposting your stuff, and it looks amazing every time.
I appreciate it. Thank you. That's awesome. No, I try to, and I think I do a lot of reels that share from my Instagram to Facebook, which helps too.
I do the same thing, yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, that's a side that I could probably learn from someone else on Instagram. How do you thrive, or how do you track business on Instagram? I've never gotten any. I mean, maybe
I don't necessarily know if again, what I do is way different than what you two do.
Sure.
For me, just getting the exposure and the word of mouth and the Phoenix family that continues to grow. IG has definitely given me way more results as far as getting my name out there, the brand out there, the recognition out there, versus actually somebody buying a bottle of Titan off of Instagram. That doesn't happen, but very rarely. I think I get more sales off of Facebook, off of the Facebook marketplace, as far as buying product. But as far as recognition is concerned, I get way more recognition on Instagram.
Gotcha.
And that ultimately, as a fledgling company that's we're just approaching year 3 here in July. That's ultimately what I need. I need people to say, oh, who are these people? And then they go to Amazon, they can go to my website, they can go to any of the distributors that I have, and buy the product that way. It's probably faster, safer, cheaper to go through one of those sites versus buying something off of, because I mean, when was the last time you bought something off of Instagram that wasn't, Chinese or counterfeit or something crazy like that?
I did start launching. I'm doing TikTok too. So I've been doing TikTok too. So it's usually Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, IG.
Do you do next door?
I don't. I mean, Nextdoor app, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I do have people that reach out to me on that, but I don't post anything on there. I don't. Yeah. Yeah, nothing on there, but just Facebook and Instagram and lately TikTok. TikTok is just more just to get my
hit or miss.
Show work. Yeah, it's not like I'm expecting.
I've never had any.
TikTok.
Yeah.
I've never even dabbled in TikTok.
TikTok's funny. Your algorithm and all this stuff. There's so much with TikTok. It really is very. You've got to have over a minute video to really have it be seen, and there's just so many quirky things with TikTok that some people it's just not really worth it. I just post on there just content just for the fun of doing it, but I don't expect anything in return. But
I think that was one of the more appealing things of having Eileen on my show is that she's not a content creator for the idea of reviewing different products and doing, and being one of those content creators that have to try everything and show off everything. My perception, Eileen, was that you were doing it to basically get your name out there and to advertise your skills and to advertise your abilities and what you bring to the table as a detailer. And that's why I wanted to partner with you, because I didn't think that you had really, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? Apple juice is killing me.
My content is more based on my customers. It's not based on the process or the tools that I use, but more of the results that I could give my customer. Right. So every now and then I'll throw in like a product I'm using, or maybe something cool that I like, or I'll have like side conversations with a lot of people in our chat about the products that I use or what I've done. But a majority of my content is specifically for my customer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows, and it's great. Like today, you were doing a wash, and it's good content. It's solid content, yeah. and it shows shows what you do, and it shows what you do well. Real time out, real fast. Humberto, congratulations on your friend's daughter getting married today.
Hey, Humberto.
Appreciate you, spending your Saturday with us, regardless of all the fun stuff that's happening in your life. So thank you.
Roberto is amazing. That guy is everywhere. If I could be where he is, that guy, I don't know how he does what he does.
He's all over the place.
Yeah,
he's
Humberto,
amazing.
I don't know if you missed the segment earlier today, but Matt is taking he's taking resumes to co-host his new podcast. So feel free to drop him a line, your resume. He's currently reviewing potential candidates to be his co-host.
Yes.
Bring that Puerto Rican flair to the airwaves. I definitely take notes from Eileen. Exactly. 100%.
Thanks,
your
guys.
content is
Thank you,
amazing.
I appreciate it.
Was there an open bar asking for Aaron? I'm just saying. I'm just saying the two best weddings that I've ever been to both had open bars. I'm just saying, like, I don't know if they're related, but definitely was a bonus.
Last question, Matt.
Yeah.
How do you classify success? What does it look like for you? Everyone has their own definition. Dollar amount per day or week, number of clients, percent of premium services versus basic details, ceramic over maintenance. What's yours?
I'll be honest. The money is always great, but I feel the money will come. So obviously for me, success determines on obviously results. So if I'm not providing and executing and providing the results that my clients are wanting, then there's no success. Because for me, a successful business is repeat customers and continuous customers on a regular basis. So if I'm not gaining that client or gaining that customer as a new customer, may it be a bi-weekly, because we do a ton of bi-weekly, monthly. We have some weekly clients besides, and those are maintenance clients. And then we have, the other coatings and things like that. But if I'm not gaining those clients because of the work and the results that I'm doing, I don't think I'm successful. That's just me. I don't find success. I think that I have not succeeded and been successful because there's something that I have not done to fulfill their needs. So for me, if my client is happy, if they are satisfied and pleased with the work that we do, timely manner, sufficiently cost, and they continue to use my service and my company, there's success for me.
Cool.
For me, it is to crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women. Free bottle of Typhoon for the first person that can tell me what quote that is. What is the quote that I just said? And I don't think Tracy qualifies.
So, what is your success? I'm curious to hear your success. What makes you feel successful?
Who, me or Aaron?
No, you.
Me?
Yeah.
That's an expensive giveaway right there, just so you know. Peter's Buffing and Detailing is Australia. So, well, that bit me in the ass quick, didn't it? All right, sorry, Eileen, you were saying. I apologize.
I think for me, I think I feel small inklings of success when I have customers come back to me, or when I have customers refer other customers to me.
Absolutely.
I think for me, it makes me feel like, like successful. It has nothing to do with the dollar amount, because I think that, I think at the end of the day, I honestly would do this for free because I enjoy it so much. So I think being or having clients that, like I said, call me again or refer other people, to me, that I feel is a level of success.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree anymore. It's aligned with what I was saying. It's the same thing. Like, it's just because I feel the same way. I'm passionate about it. I love doing it. I love the relationships that I'm able, like I say that all the time, but the relationships I'm able to make with my clients and treat them as if they're my family or my friends. I don't treat them as a client. I treat them as a family member. And that is so important to me. And they value that. They see it. And like you said, that's where you get your referrals. That's where the people are going to refer, because they like you for who you are. They know that you're real and you're a person. You're not just someone, like you said, you're not looking for the dollar.
Right. Yeah.
The dollar helps.
Oh, it definitely does.
The dollar helps.
It pays the bills.
Keeping the lights
so
on.
honestly, if my bills
the
are
lights
paid
on is
and everything's
definitely
taken care
a
of,
level of success that you like the bottom mark, the minimum mark is being able to keep the lights on. And
Absolutely.
then you have different, I guess, more of a sliding scale of success after that. But
right.
Yeah.
I
went to art school. I know a lot of people that were like, I love what I do, but I'm going to have to go get a job.
Yeah. And I think the money comes immediately. When you love what you do,
it comes.
That comes right with it, dude. It comes with it because
people see it.
Absolutely. They
see the passion. They
100%.
see like all this, and they're like,
100%.
This person's like legit.
I agree. They're passionate. They see that you value what you do, and you're not going through the motions. That's something I always say. Don't go through the motions. Don't go through the motions, because people read that. They read your body language. They read who you are. Be real,
Yeah. Becca, thanks for coming out on a Saturday night before Easter.
Thank you, Becca.
Appreciate your support. We have 26 people still in the room hanging out with us. So thank you so much.
Guys.
Out of all the places that you could be on a Saturday night, you're hanging out in the Curmudgeon's Corner, and we
thank you very much.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we do gift cards. We got gift cards available on the Phoenix website. I think they're in denominations of like $20 or $25 or something like that. I forget. So yeah.
Nice.
All right. So now we're coming up on hour 2, which I don't know how much more gas you have in your tank there, Matt.
Dude, hey, our gas continues to run, dude. We keep going, dude. We just keep running.
All right. So I said to Eileen, I think that we really need to make a more concerted effort to let people know that we have, the Phoenix family is growing, and it's growing worldwide.
Yep.
That we have some really cool distributors. I don't think, I still get an awful lot of orders coming in from California, which I'm very, very grateful for. But I always, on the packaging slip, I always write a little note that says, hey, have you heard that we have a distributor on the West Coast? It might save you a few dollars in shipping and stuff like that, because we're always trying to figure out a way to save people money, because I truly believe that this is a family, a community, and at no point do we ever want to take advantage of a family member, of someone in our community.
Yep.
And so I always say, hey, why don't you check out these guys? So earlier today, I did a little rearranging of the podcast. So here's our West Coast distribution is I am detailed AF at .com. our Midwest distribution. And these guys, now we have other distributors that have brick and mortar stores, but these distributors have the ability to ship and mail. They will mail you. They have a website that you can order directly from, and they will send it off to wherever you're at. And so depending on where you're located in the United States, I would direct you to the West Coast distribution, which is IM Detailed AF, Midwest distribution, which is fabdetailandsupplies.com. And then we have the Southeast distribution, which is shinylightdetailing.com/store. And that is Titan Tim. So Fab is a distributor, Adrian is a distributor, and Titan Tim is a distributor. That being said, we also have worldwide distributors, which is in Canada, it's Carzilla, Chris from Carzilla. He's absolutely phenomenal. United Kingdom is Into Detailing. Imran is a really great guy as well. And then our Australian distributor, which is Ospro detailing.com .au. Now, the reason why I bring that up now is because we have I forget the conversation that I had with Andrew, but we were talking about stuff, and this conversation, I probably was listening to 80s music, and Minute Work came up, laying down under, and they were like, he just laughed and gave me a Vegemite sandwich, and so he sent me this bottle of Vegemite.
Oh wow!
Everybody and anybody that I have talked to says that this is the most god-awful stuff on the planet. To which I said, well, then let's do it live for the first time. So I am cracking it open for the first time ever.
Oh, no.
You can hear it. It's snapping the seal. And he was just like, he's like, hey, mate, it's not butter. Less is more, and everybody has said less is more. So less is more. It doesn't smell bad. Can you smell that? Can you smell that? It doesn't smell bad. I don't know. So I'm gonna try it. I got some toast here. I got some toast, and I got the Vegemite. Now here's a question for any of the of our brothers and sisters from the land down under. If it's so god awful, why is it so popular?
Yeah,
everybody knows. You know what I mean? Like, he's like, it's not butter, dude. It's not butter. So just put it on real lightly. So I'm putting it on real lightly. And he was like, if you have some cheese, put some cheese on. Anything to hide the taste is the way to go. So I'm putting
so the
it on.
question is, why? What is the purpose of it? If he's saying hide it with some cheese, what does it serve its purpose? Is it
right? Like, I don't understand the function of this.
Yes, I do too. That's
it's like
question.
Mother's milk down under. Ha ha ha. Okay, so there you go. So it's an acquired taste, and if you
I don't understand,
it's the greatest thing in the universe.
Interesting.
So
how?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just trying to figure out like what.
Why would it
be? What would it be for someone that hasn't had that?
Well, we're about to find out.
Aaron's going to tell you right now.
We're about to find out.
Oh, no.
So check this out. Like the label itself is Vegemite yeast extract. Like,
oh my gosh.
I don't even know what that means. What is yeast extract? I don't know. Can you make like sourdough out of this? Can you put it in another dough and make something nice out of it? But I don't know. Since I was born in the 70s, I grew up in the 80s, and Men at Work was one of my favorite bands, and I loved it. And
it's a great band.
And so we're gonna try it.
Oh.
I'm a foodie. I'm adventurous. I do love. I'll try anything once. Just ask Papa Smurf's mom. I'll try anything once. And this is definitely was on my bucket list. So there you go. Less is more. I didn't cake it on there like like apple butter or something like that. Vitamin B food source. I don't know about the taste. So there you go. I'm looking for some vitamin B. I'm gonna grab myself some Vegemite and go to town. Eileen, I wish that I had sent you a bottle as well.
Oh God! She's all passed.
You should have.
No, I'm all right. I think you're fine.
Share this with me.
We don't both need to do it.
Get your apple juice. Yeah, get the apple juice ready. Everybody's saying get the apple juice ready.
I think this is a good experience for just
I love
one
it.
host.
You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna eat it flavor side down too, so I get the full force.
Do it.
Oh, there it is.
It's very salty.
That's what she said.
I like it.
All right.
I like it. I'm sorry. I like it. This is really good. I like salty. I grew up salty.
And it's like a cheese spread, you said?
Can you see without the? Hold on. Let me turn the.
That looks dark.
Yeah.
Settings.
Looks like chocolate.
It does like chocolate or
like Nutella or something.
Nutella. That's what I was thinking. It looked like Nutella.
Yeah, it looked like Nutella.
It does. Yeah. Look at that.
I don't know. Maybe Australians are just kind of sissies because this is not bad.
Yeah, that's a you thing, Aaron. I'm gonna enjoy my Cheeto puffs here.
Cheeto puffs. Are you into the fire Cheetos? Or just
I
love those.
Do you?
I cannot handle it.
With the lime or lemon or whatever the hell they put.
Yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, those are good. Those are good too. Do you do the Taki of those things too, or no?
No, that I don't do.
Yeah.
Aha! Look at this.
These flavors don't taste very good.
I got my wings.
Unseen cheeks. You know.
I really don't have a problem with it.
That's good. See, I told you, just one of us needed to try it.
There you go.
I'm eating teriyaki beef jerky. Sure. No, it's just I would say it's definitely. I can see why they would say less is more because it is of how salty it actually tastes. It'd be like licking a salt block if you didn't go easy on it. But as far as like a pungentness to it, I don't detect any kind of.
So would you eat it with like a chip? Is that what you ate it with?
No, I ate it on toast.
Oh, is that how
I made a couple of slices of toast.
Is that how people are supposed to eat it, on toast?
That's what all the pictures that Andrew sent to me. It was all toast.
And is it like a snack? Is that how people eat it? Like
I don't. If we go back to the lyrics of the song, he gave me a Vegemite sandwich. So I'm going to say that there's at least 2 slices of bread or toast or a cracker. Yes, on toast. Everybody's saying on toast or a cracker. So it's like, and then Andrew said earlier this week when we were talking about it, he had said, put cheese on it or something like that to kind of help mask the flavor and whatnot. So I could definitely see making this, if you had like a mild cheese, like something that was really creamy. So you have the salty complement with the creaminess of the cheese. I could see that. I could. I don't necessarily know if you could use cure meats because it sounds like it would be too salty. But as long as whatever you're accompanying it with is mild, I think they would go. A lot of people put salt and pepper on tomatoes. So if you had like a cheese and tomato sandwich, I think it would be really, really good actually. I definitely am not opposed to the Vegemite.
That's crazy.
That being said, Andrew, first and foremost, thank you so much for sending this to me.
Thank you, Andrew.
And it kind of led to a whole nother conversation that I had with Papa Smurf, which was, what delicacies in your area are considered to be absolutely disgusting elsewhere? There's that fruit in India that apparently is the most pungent thing on the planet. It begins with a D. I don't know if anybody remembers. It's some sort of fruit. Tim, I heard there was like 7 to 9 different varieties of Spam in Hawaii. Wow. Apparently, Hawaii is the Spam capital of the universe, and they have like 9 to 10 different flavors of different.
It's funny.
There it is, durian infused.
One of my college buddies was Polynesian, and he loves. My goodness, he would cook it all the time, man. It was.
What was it?
Spam.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, he would eat it all.
What did you think of spam?
I don't mind it if it's fried.
Yeah.
You know, it tastes fine to me. It's not something I eat all the time, but I don't mind it. Like I used to eat it with him because he would cook it all the time. But I didn't mind it. I think it tastes fine. I mean, you have it with some eggs or in the breakfast, you know, or something like that. It's good for me.
Look at that. When I was in Hawaii, they had spam flavored macadamia nuts. Yeah, like I said,
wow.
Hawaii, I believe, is the spam capital of the world. They eat more spam per capita than anywhere on the planet.
That's wild.
Sizzled pork. Again, I'm a foodie, and I would try at least scrapple. I love scrapple. All right, think of scrapple as basically sausage without the seasoning.
Huh.
It's really, and it's made the same way. It uses all the scrap parts of anything that's left over. The trick about scrapple is that you want to cut it really thin and fry it so it's real crispy, because some people will cut like a block of it and the inside is all mushy and gross, and if you're into texture, it's not a pleasant texture. But if you cut it thin and get it really fried on both sides, oh yeah, scrapple's pretty good.
That sounds
pretty good.
That sounds
on the farm. We don't let anything go to waste around here. You're gonna eat that? Yeah, you're gonna eat that.
Oh, that's great. So I have a question, Aaron.
Yes, sir.
So you may have answered this before. So why is Phoenix? I mean, obviously, I think I might know the answer, but I'll ask it anyway. Tire dressing and stuff like that.
What about what?
Why is it something?
Why haven't I done it yet?
Yeah. Is it just because it's? I know that some people say that the silicone, some of the stuff can get expensive. It's not worth the. I mean, there's different answers I've heard, but I don't know. It's a 1-2 punch. One, yeah, it is. When it comes to dressings, the profit margins are extremely thin. Oh, gotcha.
Typically in retail, you want to charge basically 3 times whatever your cost is.
Sure.
So if this Vegemite cost me $5, I want to sell it for $15 because that covers cost, expenses, and then you get a little bit of profit.
Sure.
With dressings, especially when it comes to like silicone dressings and things of that nature, being the cost that they are, there's no way in the universe that you're going to be able to charge that. Right?
Gotcha.
I remember the old place that I used to work for. If we were to do 3 times the markup, you're looking at like $150 for a 5-gallon of tire dressing, and nobody wants to spend that.
Sure.
Their market was primarily dealerships, and dealerships is a very cutthroat business, which is one of the reasons why I never wanted to go anywhere near dealerships. I didn't want to talk to dealerships because I'm just not interested in being nickel and dime.
Yep.
I'm just not. So yeah, there is that. But my fear, for lack of a better terminology, as a matter of fact, I just had this conversation with my dad yesterday. I said, Burketts are very prideful people. The sins of the father are passed down from generation to generation. And I was like, you are an extremely prideful man. I am an extremely prideful man. Your dad, my grandfather, was an extremely, your honor and pride. That's it. Yeah. You're only as good as your word. And, so if you look at like the release of Titan and Typhon and Peleus and like all of these products that we're now up to 12 products. They've had to be, at least in my mind, and then the people that I respect, the orbit of people that I respect, in their minds, it has to be the best of the best of the best.
Sure.
And dressings, especially when it comes to tire dressings, can very easily give you a black eye.
Mm-hmm.
And so let's call it fear, let's call it trepidation, or let's just call it perfectionism.
Yep.
I have to have the perfect dressing if I'm going to put the Phoenix logo on it and sell it. I need to be able to stand by it, and I need to be able to say it's going to compete with the best of the best of the best. And and so like we've now really started to focus our attentions on those tire dressings, and now this is where I'm going out and I'm buying other people's products, and I'm listening to emails and text messages and DMs where it's like, well, have you tried this person's tire dressing yet? Have you tried this person's tire dressing yet? When we did Hydra, I went out and I personally bought, what is it, Wolfgang and DNR or O&R and Ethos, and I bought all of these different restlesses because I needed to compete against those. And so and then Brian from Apex, he would come down to the warehouse and he would go into my office, and then I would mix up the buckets the exact same way, and then he'd come out and he would do a test on each one of them. And if he chose bucket A versus bucket B, or bucket B versus bucket A, and it was the other person's product, then we went back to the drawing board to say, all right, well, what did they do? What did you like about bucket A that you didn't like about bucket B? And until we could cross off every single competitor. And, when you look at like Pan the Organizer's videos, where we are in the upper echelon of every single category that he's putting us in, like that's what I'm all about. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? Like even if we are just hairs in second place, which again we can have a whole other conversation about. I don't believe I'm in second place, but anyway. That being said, the level of perfection that is required when it comes to a tire dressing, where it doesn't sling, it has the right amount of shine, it stays longer than one rainstorm.
That's right.
As soon as I go through a puddle, it's gone. Like those are all those things that I have to weigh out, and we have to be better than. And until I am happy with it, and until my orbit of people that I'm testing it with are happy with it, I'm just not going to release it. Just not going to do it.
No, that makes sense completely.
I just it's that pride thing. It's that pride where it's like I'm not going to wear a black. I'm not going to have a product that I'm not proud of.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, it works okay. That's like probably to me that's probably like the worst thing that anyone could say to me, and which is why when we first our first version of Hydra, and when I sent it to Jamie the cleaner, and I sent it to Fab, and I sent it to a few other people, and they were like, it's okay. It pissed me off so bad. I was like, no, okay is not good enough. Tell me that it sucks. All right, doesn't tell me it's either great or it sucks. There is no, it's okay.
Yeah.
So as soon as they said that to me, I said, all right, it sucks. We're going back to the drawing board. And I got Brian to come back down to the warehouse. And I said, okay, so everybody's saying it's okay. And so then we went and rewatched the videos. Well, what did he not like about it? And what did he like about other people's products, and so on and so forth? And then like, okay, so the secret sauce is this. And he liked the volume. He liked the way that it did this. He liked the way that it did that. Okay, well then we'll go back to it. And so I know that I'm long-winded, and I apologize, but that's.
No, that makes sense.
In a nutshell, that's why I haven't done it yet.
No, that makes sense completely.
I'm so vain. I probably think this song is about me. Yep.
Oh, that's too funny.
Foamtown, USA. That's right. What is Morcella?
It's blood sausage.
Blood sausage. Is it like, I guess, from the Scots?
I don't know. I remember my dad used to eat it all the time. We would go into like the bodegas and stuff, and he would order that. And I just remember, just as a kid, seeing it, smelling it. I'm like, ugh.
This is a weird story, a fun, weird story. My dad's brother, Uncle Ken, was significantly older than my father. I only met him one time in my life. He's now deceased. I was probably close to like 10 years old, and we met at a diner somewhere near my grandparents' house out in Streeter, Illinois. And the very first time that I've ever met my dad's brother, Uncle Ken. And he ordered liver and onions.
Oh.
And I was appalled. as a kid, because my mom would serve liver and onions as a kid. You know, apparently people that grew up in the 50s, that was a thing. I couldn't believe that someone would willingly ask for. You could get anything on the menu. You could get a burger, you get a cheeseburger, you get anything you want.
I'll take a plate of onions at that point.
And you're going to order.
Leave the liver. Give me the onions.
Not pick out of a lineup. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, there was 5 people standing there. I couldn't tell you which one was Uncle Kim, but I will always remember to the day I died that this guy ordered liver and onions willingly.
On purpose.
On purpose. Like,
no.
You're insane.
That's terrible.
What is the weirdest thing? This is the weirdest thing. I've eaten cow tongue, cow heart.
Yep.
I've
octopus eyes.
I've had pig's tail, goat's head stew from Jamaica.
You guys are good.
Yeah, I've had some. Oh, one of probably the worst things I've eaten is balut. You know what balut is? It's a Filipino dish. It's a delicacy. It's basically an egg that isn't a chicken that is not fully formed but is in the egg, and that you eat the whole thing. You're not supposed to chew it. Oh my gosh. Woo. Look up pictures on that. That'll make
I've seen it. I used to do a lot
that'll
of
make
like,
you dry.
Channel food
network stuff.
Thank you.
They had this one person went to I want to say Korea, and they were eating octopus.
Oh.
And they would live octopus in one bowl and dipping sauces in another bowl, and they would dip it in. They would reach in, they would grab the octopus out, they would dip it in the dipping sauce, and they would suck it in their mouth, and then all the tentacles would go around their face, and then they would suck it in, and they would peel the tentacles off their faces. They're sucking it in their mouth, and I was like, that is dedication. That is dedication.
Oh
Riggs, I've had those. What are you gonna do? You got to try it at least once.
Yeah, a buddy of mine had monkey meat, had hair still on the monkey meat. I'm like, I think I would just go without food. I'd just rather starve.
I'd starve. Yeah,
I'd starve too. I'd rather just starve.
Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom. Oh, chilled monkey brains.
Yes. Exactly.
You're not hungry? No. I had bugs for lunch. I love that.
Like, nope, I'll pass. I will pass.
I mentioned it in chat.
That reminds me of what's that chef? Oh my god, he passed away recently. Or he had that show where
Anthony
he would
Bourdain.
Yeah, there he is. I don't know why I couldn't remember his name. Yeah, his show is pretty crazy. Going to all these different places and trying all this.
He did.
I mean, it's great because he had a lot of respect for their culture and like what they did. So he was never, but just seeing the stuff that he tried and the places that he went, it's just like.
There was this show that I was watching on HBO Max. Oh man, I wish that I had prepped for this. It's something to do with the guy's name is Phil. And basically he goes all around he's so
I've seen that.
Yeah, he's so excitable and he's so much fun, and
he's
he goes
such
all
a cool
around
guy.
the world. Yeah, and he's like, today we're going to go to Morocco, and I can't
he's
believe
so excited.
We're going to go do this over here, and it's such a great show. And it's again, I love food. Oh, by the way, when I come out to see you, Matt, when I come out to see you either Wednesday or Thursday, one of my criteria when I go to new places and I hang out is that I will only eat at places that are local to that place only. I don't do chains when I go traveling. I refuse to do chains. Tracy just sent me a picture of that chicken egg.
Oh.
I
don't know how you get. I don't know how they.
Matt, you ate the whole thing, or you
I did.
How could you get that in there?
Because if I didn't, it was offensive. Like it was rude not to. So I was like, dude, I'll tell you, I wanted to try to throw up to get it out. Like it was so the texture and the,
you just eat it whole, or do you cut
you're supposed
it?
to just supposed to suck it and eat it like it just gives me
Oh, that's so terrible. Anyway, when I see you in a couple of days, today is Saturday, so when I see you in 4 days, have a couple of ideas of where you want to go. Locals only.
Okay,
is the rule.
I'll get a list of them.
All right.
Where do you know where you're at? You're staying or no?
I'm sure I've been told, but I have a tendency to not pay attention until I get there.
Okay. You can just text me later or call me.
I don't. All I know is I'm coming into Phoenix at like 1:05 p.m.
On Wednesday?
Yeah, on Wednesday.
Okay.
Wednesday, April 3rd at 1:05, and then because of the situation, it's basically if he does well at this shoot, he's going to Paris. Like,
wow,
that's the end, right? Like this is
that's
the
so
road
cool.
to the Olympics.
That's so cool.
He goes to, I think it's either called the Arizona Open or the Phoenix Open or whatever it is. I'm not quite sure. So as I'm his legalized aero agent, which is because he's handicapped, he doesn't have the legs. When they sit him in his lane where he's supposed to shoot, he's fixed there for the remainder of the entire shoot. So he's not allowed to leave the line. He's stuck there, which is I think is bullshit. If you ask me.
I was
especially because like I mean you have the sun just beat on you for 8 hours.
Absolutely.
You can't leave at all.
Dang.
It's horrible. So before I got involved, he had like the it's a pool. Whoever is available to help out a para athlete is available to him. He had a black umbrella. You know what I mean? He was just like, dude, you're killing yourself. So I got him a white umbrella and I got him these ice packs and basically I just redid everything for him. And so, and then I have to go down to the target. I pull the arrows out, but I'm also one of the so you're competing against one other person on the same target. There's two targets on the same bale, I should say. And you do points depending on where the arrow hits on the target.
Sure.
And as long as the arrow breaks the circle plane, it counts as the next higher score. So even if he just cracks the line between 8 and 9, it's considered a 9 because he's cracked the line.
Gotcha.
So your advocate has to go down there and oftentimes will argue that broke the line. That's a 9. And they'll be like, no, it's not. And then you have to call a judge over, and the official judge comes over and says it's either an 8 or a 9. But if you grab one of the caddies from the pool, they don't care. They'll be like, well, whatever you say the score is what the score is. And so they don't advocate on behalf of the archer. So you really need somebody in your corner to be like, no, that's a 9. I will call a judge over here to prove that it's a 9. And I carry a magnifying glass in my belt pouch, just so you can be like, see that right there? It broke the plane.
Yep.
So
that's so cool.
Yeah. So
now, how did he get into it, or how did he?
So he was always a really good archer.
Oh, okay.
But back in 2012, he was a V-22 Osprey pilot.
Oh,
and
wow.
They were doing some training exercises over in Morocco, and the V-22 crashed, and he, long story short, he ended up losing both of his legs. When wounded warriors are brought back to the United States and they're being treated in Walter Reed Medical Center down in Bethesda, Maryland.
Yep.
One of the rehabs that the military is trying to do is they try to get you to re-engage with activities that you enjoyed from your previous life. You know what I mean? So that you're not focusing on the fact that you've lost your legs or you're disabled or you're blown up and you don't have hands or, your face is torn apart or whatever. There's a million. I got to spend a long time down at Walter Reed, and one of the most impactful things that was ever said to me was, everybody is willing to give their life for their country. How many people are willing to be maimed for their country?
Oof.
And I was like, that is a whole nother level.
It really is.
you know, and I look at my friend Tim. He had both of his legs blown off with an IED, and his hand and arm is permanently disfigured from that same injury. He was a young guy. He was, 21 years old, 20 years old, blown to hell.
Wow.
That's his life for the rest of his life. So they got him into the music corps. He used to really be into music and whatnot. And so, he's now a lead singer for, I think it's called Music Corps, COR, like Marine Corps, but it's called Music Corps. He's one of the lead singers for that group. Resilient, I believe, is the name of the band. Anyway, so how Eric got involved was he used to be he's big into deer archery and stuff like that. He comes back, he's all disfigured and whatnot, and so they got him shooting archery again. They got him with an archery coach down there, and they said, a couple of days, go down there and shoot some targets and things of that nature. So this happened in 2012. The kind of person that my brother is, aka Trainwreck, that was his call sign in the Marine Corps, was Trainwreck.
Wow.
So Trainwreck, 2012 has this horrible thing. 2014, he's in London winning the gold medal.
Dang.
2 years later, he's winning the gold medal in London for the Invictus Games. That's who he is. He's the inspiration behind Phoenix. He is rising from the ashes. I remember him saying, "They can't break me, Aaron. They can't break me."
Wow.
And to hear that from him, it's just like, you think I got problems? Look at this guy. Look at this guy, and now he's going. He's a potential Olympian contender. So we're coming out to Phoenix
Cool.
on Wednesday. On Thursday, he's going to shoot his butt off, and he's gonna send himself to Paris.
So cool.
Yeah. So that's going to be a really, really. Hey, Nacho Man's in the house. What's up, Nacho?
Nacho.
What's going on, Nacho?
Speaking of people, that was one that has mentioned that he would be interested in helping on.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, he's a personality, man. I tell you what, he's on fire. Like when he gets into the zone and he's doing those videos where he's dancing and shaking what he's got, he's having a good time.
Funny guy. I love Nacho. He does some great stuff.
Miller Detailing, I couldn't agree with you more. He is probably one of the greatest. But you'd have to grow up with him to know that.
That's so cool. Now, does he have a family of his own, Aaron?
My brother?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's married with like 6 kids.
Is he really? My goodness.
Seriously, dude. Like, really?
Wow.
Like, couldn't you stop at like 2?
Woo!
What was that? What was up with that? Like, really?
Wow.
So I said, like, basically, I was just like 4 through 6 are just spare parts. You need a kidney. You need
Poor kids.
You need a portion of a new liver. Make all you want. Anyway, they're just spare. 4 through 6 are just spare parts.
That's too funny. Now, does he live close to you or no?
No, he actually. So my hometown is Newcastle, Pennsylvania, which is about 60 miles north of Pittsburgh.
Okay.
That's where my parents reside. My grandmother resides, and a good portion of my aunts and uncles reside. After he used to live in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
Okay.
When all of this went down, he and was cycled out of the Marine Corps. He moved back to the compound of of Newcastle, Pennsylvania. So he lives basically up the top of the hill is where my parents' house and farm and what we call the compound is, and then down below that is my aunt and uncle's house, and then down below that is my brother's house.
Oh, okay.
Which was really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really neat. Gary Sinise, the Gary Sinise Foundation, built him a smart house. So
really?
shout out to the Gary Sinise Foundation.
So cool.
Unbelievable.
Love it. Really cool.
So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So he lives about 6 hours away from me, but he's definitely a stop on the tour when I go home to visit.
Oh, absolutely. Got to. For sure. So what took you to where you're at now, Aaron? Where you're at living, I should say.
Oh,
From
boy. All right, fine. Hey, good night, Tim. Thanks for coming out. So I met a girl in Pittsburgh and followed her to Boston.
Ooh.
In '94, I had a really, really traumatic injury, a really, really bad traumatic injury. And after I recovered from that, and I met this girl and I followed her to Boston, I got a job working for a hospital in the radiology department. And I was able to meet with certain doctors and whatnot that basically they I wouldn't say rebuilt my leg, my ankle, but they were able to do things that over there at the Hospital Boston or Boston Hospital, whatever it is, the really big muckety-muck, super University of Boston Medical Center kind of thing. They were able to rebuild my ankle, and it's a solid bone. They fused the ankle together, but I was able to keep my ankle.
Oh.
Anyway, I was working. I put her through college, her master's degree. She took a job as a teacher. Her parents are from this area.
Uh-huh.
So when I had my surgery and was laid up on disability, she was able to apply for a job down here in New Jersey, took a job in New Jersey, and we moved from Boston to New Jersey.
Uh-huh.
And then, long story short, I ended up having a son, and that anchored me here for the next 20 years.
Gotcha. I lived in Boston as a kid for a while. Do you like Boston or no?
Do I have any customers in Boston? I will say this. I think the Boston / we lived in the North Shore.
Okay.
So I lived up in Beverly.
Yep.
I think it's absolutely an amazing place to visit. If you've never been there, you have to see New England in the fall. There is no other place like it on the planet. I mean, like it is God giving you fireworks in nature.
Yep.
The trees are the yellowest and the orangest and the red that you've ever seen. A New England fall is absolutely glorious. I absolutely hated living there. I thought people were ignorant and cold and mean. They do this thing. I grew up in a very rural and military family. Military families are very conscientious of the person in the trench beside you. So you're always thinking of the next person. I don't want to inconvenience you. You don't want to inconvenience me. We're in this together. In New England, in Boston in particular, I'm going to Hamilton. I call them the lane blockers, right? So you have a car that is wanting to turn left, right? The car wants to turn left. So what they'll do is they will pull out into traffic and block. They will block right-going traffic,
absolutely,
until they can get in and make their turn.
Yep.
They just stop traffic, and it used to make me absolutely insane. Like, how can you like how are you that important that you can stop 20 cars from going to where they want to go because you want to make a left-hand turn?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You son of a bitch! I tell you what. Whoo! So it was that kind of thing that would drive me absolutely insane. Like, again, it's a really beautiful place, and an individual. If you meet an individual, they're really cool. They're really nice. They really are. But then when you remove it to a place where they have some level of autonomy, they just become exactly. We call them massholes. Exactly, Brian. You are exactly right. I've never seen anything like it. Like, how are you that important that you're that important that your time is so much more important than my time? So I'm just going to sit here, even though I have the right of way. I will sit here and wait for you to be able to make that left turn. Oh yeah, it gets me really.
They are definitely aggressive drivers too. I remember them just up on you.
Is that move called the Boston butt plug?
Yes.
Probably. I just, you were saying. I'm sorry, Matt. You were saying.
No, I was just saying they're aggressive. They're I mean, they will be all up on your tail, dude, and just man, you think they're gonna slam in the back of you every time, man. I remember just like worried I was gonna get rear-ended all the time. Dude.
And if you were in lane 1 and you needed to get to lane 5, forget about it.
Yeah, goodbye.
You're not going to do it. They will not let you in. They will not let you over.
They won't
at all.
Weird. It's just weird. I don't get it. It's just
But that being said, absolutely gorgeous.
No, it is. It really is.
Oh, so here, I got 2 bottles. I'll show you this. This is great. I got these 2 bottles here. This bottle, and I don't know if you can see it or not. It's a Coca-Cola bottle, but the sand in this bottle is from Singing Beach.
Ooh.
Have you ever heard of Singing Beach?
I haven't.
All right, Singing Beach is on the North Shore.
Okay.
I want to say it's wedged like on the other side of Beverly, like on your way to Gloucester.
Gloucester, yeah.
The sand, from what I understand, is made up of like microscopic shells. And so when you walk through the sand, it whistles. And that's why they call it Singing Beach. It's like one of the only places on the planet that you walk across the beach and it sings to you as you walk.
Wow.
So this bottle is filled with Singing Beach sand.
That's pretty cool.
And then this bottle, I don't know if you can see that or not.
Was it like leaves or something?
It's glass. It's all beach glass, and the entire the entire beach is made of this beach glass, and I think it's called Glass Beach. And none of it is jagged, none of it is sharp. It's been hammered by the ocean for so long that they're all rounded little pebbles of glass.
That's pretty cool.
That's
blue,
really
green
cool.
to red, and so on and so forth. And this is also from the North Shore of Massachusetts, Glass Beach. I'm telling you, it is some of the coolest things you've ever seen. I'm sorry that the general population has to ruin it for everybody.
Did you ever go to like Maine or that area, Wells, Maine, or anything?
I did. I tried to. I have knocked off 49 of the 50 states.
Good for you.
I have Alaska. I still have Alaska to check off the box.
That's why I hear that's good.
Yeah,
we
went to Bahama. Yeah. So this car has climbed Mount Washington.
So Eileen, have you always been? Where have you originally from? Are you from?
I'm originally from New York.
From New York.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a big hike from there to here. Kind of like what I did from there, DC area, that back east to Phoenix.
Yep. I like it though. I enjoyed it out here.
What made did you have options? What made you choose there over anywhere else?
My sister moved over here at the time. She was dating a Marine.
Gotcha.
She moved out here, and so I came out to visit, and I was just cool. This is where it's at. I want to be here. So,
that sounds like my sister. My sister moved out here, or she went to school at ASU, and then I was going to school, and she's like, she was dating, she got married, and I'd come out and visit during high school. She's older than I am, and then during college. And she recruited me, and then she recruited my brother and my sister, and it was just a sister thing. Yeah, she recruited me out to Phoenix.
Yeah, I love it out here.
It's different. I like it. There's parts of the East Coast that I miss a lot. I really do. My wife's from New England. She's from Vermont, up in East Dover. Yeah. Outside Mount Snow. I miss like the food. I miss like some of the entertainment that goes on in the cities back there. The sports town, being sports minded, I love sport. Boston sports town was really cool, and I like seafood. I like the food that comes off. So that part I really miss.
I think food definitely is for me. For me, it is because I mean, you could get up at 2:00 in the morning and find some really great food anywhere. Any kind of food you want. Here, it's like, well, I mean, also it's I live in the middle of nowhere, so that doesn't help. But there's not a lot of options.
No, and it's like things have to be shipped in. That's the thing. It's not fresh. Like I like stuff coming, like seeing it right off the boat, right off the pier, and it's fresh. And like this stuff's being shipped over, iced, and it's just not the same.
Yeah, when I used to live in Maryland, I would love getting out and like getting blue crabs.
Oh yeah,
my gosh.
You know what I mean? It's and just like
crabs.
they dump it right there on the table,
Yeah.
and you just like go in, and it's like the best thing in the world.
When my brother was rehabbing at Walter Reed, because where I live, we take the 95 corridor straight on down.
Yep.
And I would go there every weekend while he was hospitalized to give his wife a reprieve. She could, I'll come down for the weekend. I'll do all of the things that you're doing for him. You can go, take a shower, take a nap, go shopping, do it, to kind of reclaim your humanity. And in doing so, again, being a foodie, always trying to explore new places, I always wanted to find out, like, where's the best places to eat that are not like tourist traps. Like I want like the feel of a real Maryland seafood experience.
Yeah.
And my travels led me to Schultz's Crab Shack in Essex. Essex, Maryland, which is basically just northeast of Baltimore. And it's this little dink crab shack. And Eileen, just like you said, like there's the construction paper over the table
everywhere,
and put your paper, and they just and they take a basket of crabs and they just dump it, and you have a mouth. Oh my god, it was so good. The crab cakes,
good. Oh,
crab cakes were so amazing. Like
so good.
There was just enough breading to hold it together.
Yep.
Everything else was just pure lump crab meat. It was so good and so decadent, and it's one of the greatest.
That
places.
stuff you can't. I mean, I'm sure you can find something similar, like in San Diego or whatever, but like it's not. It's
because I spent a lot of time as a kid in La Jolla and San Diego and like Huntington Beach. It's just
it's not the same.
It's not the same. I've been to all those seafood in different places. It doesn't.
They're all right, but it's not.
They're not the same.
There.
Nah, it's not. It's okay, but not what I'm used to. But
well, when both of you guys are ready to come back to the East Coast, even for a visit,
dude, I would
stay with us, and we're going on a road trip because that's what I'm all about. I'm all about the road trip. My Pathfinder seat 7. So,
dude, I'm telling you,
first serve.
I talked about it on our podcast, and we're wanting to do it, getting it close. Aaron, we talked to you about it too. Really wanting to put together a detailed gathering.
Yeah.
I think we should do it. I think we should all collaborate and create a place where we could get everyone together and just have a good time, dude.
All right. Well, I just want you to know that I'm going to put your feet to the fire right now. This is a great segue at hour 2.5. Great segue, Matt. Everybody's going to the MTE this year.
I'm going to go this year.
Everybody's going.
Go.
Titan Tim's going to be there. Hawaii Tim's going to be there. I talked Christian from BioBombs to go. He wants to do a booth with me. I talked Eileen into going.
I'm going.
Chelsea's going.
I'm going this year.
I know 3 of the 4 horsemen for sure are going, but I haven't nailed down Phil yet. But I'm sure Phil's going to go. Like,
nope.
did I say Chelsea? Chelsea's going to go. We're doing it. We're getting the entire crew.
This year we were again, hindsight. We were scheduled. We were on target. Detailed Dive was scheduled to go. We were scheduled on target to go. That was the plan, to be at that place, because we said it was too much of a nightmare to get to the freaking stupid Vegas thing. That's a nightmare. The whole you can't. You fight and you can't get tickets, and like
I have no desire.
It's impossible. It's not even worth it. Yeah,
I have no desire.
So it's like we want to go to this one
every year when I worked at the old company.
Yeah,
and it is just
it's too much.
Especially if you go there for the wrong reasons. If you're going there to, as a vacation, it's so not worth your time.
No.
SEMA does have some really great events and has some seminars that are really, really beneficial. But if you're just going there to like you said, to hang out, to have that kind of social experience, it doesn't exist.
Yes.
It can't exist. It's too big. It's too much.
Is MTE always in Florida?
Yes.
Yeah. Orlando.
What are the dates for it again?
I
forget. I always forget what. I know it's
MTE 20.
Is it February? The first?
No, it's January.
January. I knew it was February. January. I can't remember.
Looks like it says here January 30th through February 1st, 2025.
Okay, so February. Okay, so January the 30th. And you go the whole time, Aaron, or no?
I've never been there.
Oh, you've never been?
I've never been there. I sent my emissary, Adrian, and Hawaii Tim. I said, listen, I forget exactly. Oh, I had the Lancaster archery shoot that I was involved in, and I was like, just go down there. I've heard mixed reviews about it. I heard that it could be, it's paintless dent removal oriented. Is and again, I got really burned on the Southern Detailers Conference because
I remember that.
Even though we got 100% of everybody that came through that door came to the Phoenix booth. 100% of 200 people still sucks. They didn't do anything to promote it. They didn't, it was like nobody knew anything about it. So and it's run by the same people. So I was like, I don't know if I really want to turn myself into a knot to attend this show if it's going to be just as half-assed as the last show. So Adrian went down there, Hawaii Tim went down there, and they both said, it's probably not worth setting up a booth, but it would definitely be worth coming down, handing out your business cards, and then that's when the light bulb went on. And it was like, all right, well, if I'm not going to do a booth, then let's just turn it into what you had talked about, Matt, which is like, let's turn it into like this social summit of like, like this is the social summit of our circle.
Absolutely.
We should all be down there. We should all be just having a good time, drinking, collaborating, and doing as much social media crap as possible.
So much fun, dude. I think it'd be freaking rock. I can't wait. I'm gonna. But the place, it is the same place where the hotel is close to the same place, isn't it? Like
I believe it's attached. Like I think it's Gaylord something or other.
Yeah, I need to get.
But they're all attached. But I don't think if I'm not going to bring down a whole bunch of product, I don't need to be attached to the It was great at the Southern Detailers Conference because I had a wagon and I could bring stuff back and forth from the booth back to the to the room, all the show stuff that I didn't want to leave in the booth. But if I'm not going to set up a booth, then I'll take the budget in 2 miles away. I don't care.
Absolutely. No, that'll be fun, dude. That's awesome. I'm glad to hear that people.
Gaylord Hotel Convention Center is attached. Yeah.
Okay. That's gonna be fun. So, Gaylord. Okay. We get Gaylord Hotel Convention. So I'm gonna get on there. When do they? I should get on there. Did they already have it published, like posted for the?
Looks like it. When I did a Google search that said MTE 2025, and it came right up to exhibit space rental agreement, blah 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 blah. So I think they're at least holy shnikes. They want $2,000 for a 10-foot by 10-foot space.
Yeah, you're better off going out there with business cards and just
But the thing is that
just give all of us cards that we can hand out.
Well, this is Christian wants to. Well, Christian from BioBomb, she was like, maybe we could split a booth, and I'm like, that I'm willing to do. I can spend.
Well, that makes sense.
I'll spend $1,000 and go down there with Christian, dude. I mean, he in himself is he's a firecracker. Are you kidding me? Like he would have. Oh my gosh. Like I feel bad
everybody to your booth.
I feel bad about riding his coattails, but I mean, like he's a juggernaut. The dude is a juggernaut.
But it goes back to what I said earlier: creating the detail community. We are here to help one another. We're able to support each other.
If I win, you win. You win. We all win.
It's not about trying to hide or trying to. Everyone's here to help. That's what it should be.
Yeah.
It's not about one person wins and everyone else loses.
And he is 100%.
Oh, he's a stud, dude. He is freaking really cool. He is definitely one you want in your corner, along with Aaron. Both of you. You both are good.
Absolutely.
Humberto, where there's a will, there's a way. All right, come on. All right, huh? We're in New Jersey. Forget about it. Huh? I think New Jersey invented the little slide.
The secret
slide. Hey,
give me a call.
Good to see you. You little pat on the back. Handshake hug.
Yeah.
Handshake hug.
There you go.
They reach around and put it in the pocket here.
Yeah. Forget about it. Talking about Roberto.
We'll figure it out.
Come on, Roberto. I know you got skill. You're the magic man.
Yeah, seriously.
You can be everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. So we are approaching hour 3. We should probably give something away and then call it a night.
Sounds good.
All right.
What do you think, Matt? What do you think?
That sounds good. We'll do it.
Yeah, Humberto, I don't know why you keep bringing up that person on my channel all the time. I don't understand it. I don't get it.
What person?
He posted it. He posted it here, and he posted it on a IG thing. I get it. I spent the day yesterday with Brian from Apex, and I'm not going to get into it on a stream that's going to be immortalized forever on YouTube. Just I don't know. There's it's a mixed review. There's good points and there's bad points, especially on that particular brand. I have mixed feelings on that particular brand. I think that some stuff is done very, very well, and I think that other stuff is not done very well. And I also feel that if you are going to reverse, like we talked about earlier, between with Typhon and the pH, if you're going to say one thing to promote a product, and then say the exact opposite to promote a different product, I don't think that's right. I don't, whatever. I don't believe that's, if you're doing this to make a buck, you're in it for the wrong reasons.
Sure.
Right? At the end of the day, if you're in it just to sell, I will say whatever you want me to say. I will do whatever you want me to do to make a buck. I don't think that services the detail community in any way, shape, or form. And that certainly doesn't service the Phoenix family in any way, shape, or form. I want the Phoenix products to do exactly what I say it's going to do, how it's going to do it. I'm not going to reverse course just to sell you something. So I think, Humberto, to sum up, I think that I have some of the most incredible minds on the Phoenix team. The chemist by himself, but then also like I have the 4 horsemen, I have Matt, I have Eileen, I have my local 4 that I talk to when we are making products and
products and money, dude.
Yeah,
so everything you have is good.
Well, thank you.
It really is, and I use it all. I mean, from coatings to Titan to the soil. Aaron knows. I could buy the stuff in gallons.
Yeah, he does, and I love you for it, because I know that's not cheap, especially shipping all the way to Phoenix.
That's okay.
Like you,
I like it, so it's worth it.
At the end of the day, I will say, I'm sure you're absolutely right. I'm sure he has a lot of experience and he has a lot of advice, but I just don't feel like a collaboration with him is in my best interest. And I also feel that it just seems to me, and Matt, maybe you could speak more to it than I can. It seems to me like the people that he interacts with, they don't last very long. Like what happened to Detail Chick? Like, 6 months ago, she was a household name, and now where is she? I heard that something happened between the two of them, and they don't do Thursday night podcasts together anymore. They don't do that. They were collaborating on ceramic coatings, and they're not doing that anymore. Like,
yeah.
I hear things. I hear things that says that, I'm better off staying in the shallow water.
Yep. Yeah. Yep. Do you? I mean, I should maybe not bring it up on the stream. I didn't know if
it's all right. We can.
Do you? I guess you probably don't.
No comment.
Detail Depot. Does he sell your stuff?
No, I don't think so. I don't
know
Mike.
Mike,
yeah.
Big Mike.
Oh yeah, that story. Yeah, we it's a fun question.
I didn't want to bring that. I mean, because I don't know. I don't like to.
No, I get it. So basically, I'll just say I will be as vague as I possibly can about this.
Sure.
For whatever reason, again, with me, and I've had this argument with my investors often, where it's like my loyalty is not for sale.
Yeah.
There is somebody in my circle that I am very, very close with, that I consider to be a brother, that has a problem with that particular individual.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And until that gets resolved, I
Sure.
said I can't do business with
That's
you
fair.
until that's resolved.
Absolutely. That's
So
fair.
I have no animosity towards that particular company at all. As a matter of fact, as you know, I was hunting for a West Coast distributor.
Absolutely. That's the reason why I mentioned it. Yeah.
No, so that was approached, and it was kind of like, even at the detriment of my company, I can't until that's resolved. And the problem isn't with me. The problem is between you and this person. So until you resolve that problem between you and this person, I can't do it. I'm sorry, but I can't. Yeah. No offense to you, whatever. I can't do it. And and here's the rub. Again, going back to divine intervention, I could not be happier than working with Adrian from I am Detailed AF.
Yeah.
Like, he is a fireball. He is a beautiful human being. I love the conversations that we have together, and his energy matches the Phoenix brand. And I could not be happier working with Adrian. I'm
glad he reached back out to me. He was, we had that conversation.
Yeah.
It was one of, there's many that still haven't, but it was interesting because
he was the reason why I wanted you on the show, to give you the platform, because he told me that story, and I was like, that can't stand. And if you're thinking that, and this other person is thinking that, then all kinds of other people are thinking that.
Sure.
And I wanted to give you a platform to clear the air.
I appreciate it. No, I appreciate that.
And say, like, hey, like, I did everything that I could on my end.
Yep.
What you're being told is not the truth.
And I'd have it be said that even with what took place, I don't have harsh feelings. I don't hate anyone. Everyone has their own thing, and and I wish nothing but the best, for that individual, and I hope the best helps and goes for both him and his family and everyone else that his endurances and his things that he does. So, but it was good that he reached out. And I was, again, one of those that just waited and hoped that he came around, and he did, which was really cool.
Yeah, it really was. All right. So again, we're coming up on hour 3. This is how they can reach you. They can get a hold of you.
Yes.
What's the best way? Like, what's in the future for Extra Mile Detail? Like, what do you got going on in the next couple of months?
It's really trying to. We're getting busier, which is a positive thing. But I think it's just trying to figure out what direction do I want to go. Do I want to hire more people, and do I want to expand it? Because I've always had this mindset that I just want to keep it to a point where I can kind of manage it. Because I get so worried about losing the brand. I get so worried, and I know people say you can't get hung up on that. You gotta trust people. You gotta train people. And believe me, I was in corporate. I trained people and I taught them the things and the ways of doing it, but it doesn't always work. And that's the concern that I have. I get so worried that my brand gets tarnished and gets messed up, or it doesn't have the reputation because they don't deliver what they're supposed to deliver. So I think that's my mindset right now, is really figuring out in the next 6 months or whatever, what am I going to do? Because it's getting to a point where I've got to expand or find someone that's going to be able to help me manage it. It's just because we're busy. We really are. We're 7 days a week. I mean, that's just.
Yeah, talking to Brian from Apex, he said that was like the hardest part that he had, which is why Brian Mayall was. Brian Mayall, I don't know if you guys remember, he was on the show a couple of months ago with Brian Jr. Brian Mayall is a diamond. Like, he is a find. If you can find an employee like Brian that is dedicated to you, that is worth every ounce of their weight in gold. From what I was told, is like the average life expectancy of a detailer working for you is less than 2 years. You're going to teach them and train them, and then they are going to take what they've learned and they're going to start their own thing, and they're going to leave you. And the fact that, Brian's been there in the trenches doing whatever. And again, Brian Sr. is very, very smart, doing the whole profit sharing thing and trying to incorporate you into the business.
Yep.
I do not envy you at all, the process that you're going to have to go through, that trial and error, and then possibly somebody leaving you. You spent all that time, training them and teaching them, only for them to like take all of your knowledge and go over here.
Absolutely.
Hats off to you. And like I said, hats off to Brian Mayall, because I got to spend I get to spend my Fridays up there at Apex, and
Love it.
that kid is putting out work like you wouldn't even believe. And his
That's
dedication to the process. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't know, he was on the show. I was just like, what is your motivation? And he was just like, I love cars. Like, my motivation is I love what I'm doing. So I can't think of doing anything else. Anyway, that being said, for the next and last bottle of Typhon, the Typhon kit, what is the name of Extra Mile Details' new podcast going to be? And it's not Hugs and Kisses, you weirdos.
Hugs and kisses, dude. We'll get a hug and kiss.
I'm looking. Oh, when? What are the plans on? When is this going to start? When are the plans for the podcast starting?
I'm hoping that we will have it going. I'm saying the end of April is the goal I'm shooting for. End of April, 1st of May. I don't want to have
Superado, you can't win. You're disqualified. I think Tim might be disqualified too. I can't remember. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off.
So yeah, sometime probably the end of April or so. That's what I'm shooting for. I want to have everything aligned. So that's the goal. We'll start putting it out so people know that it's happening and marketing it so that people know. I gotta reach out to because I've always done it started on Instagram, but I know I've never done YouTube. That's the other thing. I've got to build up a YouTube because I really would like to start doing it on the YouTube channel. Like I would like to do that. I know there's a process and you got to go through the whole scenario. With Detailed Dive, we did it on a separate platform, which wasn't live, which I mean, we did it, but I didn't really like it because there wasn't interaction. Like I don't like that.
Yeah, there's no interaction with the fans. Yes. But when I did it with you, it was definitely live back. Like we had a live back and forth conversation, and then I could go to Spotify, and I wouldn't see the video at all.
No,
but I hear you now.
So
Detailed Doug's in the house. Better late than never.
Yeah, so it looks like I was just looking at your stream. So StreamYard must be just the software that you use.
Papa Smurf turned me onto it. Now I have the paid service. He does not use the paid service. The unpaid service works absolutely fine. But with the paid service, I can put my little Phoenix icon up in the top corner. I can also allow you guys to stream to your platforms as well, which is a really cool feature. Like you have the ability to now stream this episode onto your YouTube channel, Eileen onto her YouTube channel. And then I get to play with all the different branding things of that nature. So I thought, as far as brand, like again, 2024 is all about branding Phoenix, getting the word out there. I want, we designed the logo to be like an NFL football team. I want people to see it and recognize it and know exactly who it is and what we are. Like the very iconic detail products out there. I hate to mention it, but Adams. You see that the red circle in the A, you know exactly that you're looking at Adams.
Yep.
Chemical Guys has also a very distinct and unique. Turtle Wax has that little turtle thing there that's been around for 100 years. That's what I was kind of gunning for and going for. I wanted to be very, very identifiable.
Sure.
And so having the paid service allows me to customize it like that. Go ahead.
So no, I was going to say, so does this software house your recordings and then you can just upload it onto YouTube, or is that how this?
It's streaming right now live on YouTube.
Oh, so it's attached to your YouTube
It's attached to YouTube. It's attached it's also streaming to Facebook as well. So this is in real live time. It's kind of like a live stream on Instagram. They are seeing it right now live on Facebook. They're seeing it live on YouTube right now.
Oh my gosh.
And then
we're using this app to just like guide it to those channels.
And then when you hit in stream, it'll turn off, but it'll stay on YouTube for forever. It'll stay on Facebook for forever.
Could you use this on IG and Facebook, or does it have to be YouTube?
No, it can be Instagram. Here's the problem with doing it on Instagram, and I am what Karazina used to call boomer. Even though I'm not a boomer, I'm a Gen Xer. he would be like, okay, boomer, because I couldn't figure it out. Bottom line is that I can do it on Instagram right now as well, but it's a whole separate stream that I have to connect Instagram. The moment that we start doing the live stream, I have to connect Instagram to it, and it's a whole nother step process that I'd rather just focus on this and have it be seamless, as opposed to everybody stand by real quick while I figure out how to set up the Instagram feed. And then it becomes, and I think Instagram only allows 1 hour at a time, so every hour I'd have to restart the stream up again. I figure, maybe that'll be when I have an assistant and they can help me, and I have somebody who was born after 2000. They have the chip in, and they can just chip into the thing and do it for me.
I was just wondering, because until I build YouTube channel, I'll probably have to figure out how I'm gonna do all the.
I gotta be honest with you. My YouTube channel barely exists. I think I have 3 videos and 25 live streams.
But you're able to. I thought you had to have so many followers to stream on YouTube.
No, you have to have so many followers to monetize.
Oh, to monetize.
I'm not interested in that.
Yeah. So. Okay, so if I had a channel, I could do it. I don't have to.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, I swear, I was thinking the whole time you had to have so many followers. And
Eileen, she's on board. She's going to help me start making content. She's going to do she's basically going to do a how-to video for every one of my products. And we'll post that on YouTube, because I think as obviously as a brand that makes these chemicals, you're going to have at least an instructional how-to video.
Yes.
Right.
And that's something that she and I have talked about, but none of it is necessary to have the channel. We just
that's good.
I love the idea of being able to do these live streams. I live for the live streams. These are fun.
These are really fun.
These are my family.
So this opens a whole different door then, because I had no idea, because I was like, dude, I want to do the stream. I like the stream thing. So, and I have Facebook, and Instagram, but I didn't know I just have to create a YouTube. That's good. I'll have to play with this software.
Yeah, and you said that Facebook was was more of your bread and butter than IG is. So this is a perfect place.
I mean, I have a lot more obviously followers on IG just because of doing what I've posting content and stuff, but meaning detailers, I should say. I have more detail followers and suppliers that follow me on IG than I do on Facebook. My clients are Facebook. So, but yeah, either way, that's good to know. So I'm going to write down, I'll have to play with the software, and that's good to know. I did not know. I learned something. It's good. See, I knew I'd learn something.
Yeah, we're here. That's what we're here for.
So I like it. Yeah. So definitely, I'm excited for both of you to come on.
Absolutely,
I would love
both
that.
of you come on. I can't wait to have you on, and hopefully we'll have someone helping. If not, that's okay. We will run it until we find that person that wants to join and make it beautiful and wonderful. And you guys are a great combo. So kudos to both of you. You guys do awesome. It was
Thank you.
Great job on both of your parts on the live stream. So
Eileen's been a godsend.
She's good. And Eileen, you do great. I don't know if you've done it before, but
never done it. This is my first time.
But it's very natural. You don't seem nervous. You seem very calm.
Thank you.
You're very good. Your questions were very good, and engaging, and Aaron's always good. So
thank you.
But kudos to you. Really, it's awesome. Good job.
Thank you so much.
Good job.
She's a fireball. I am.
And I love what you're doing. I love your work. I love what you're doing.
Thanks, Matt.
Keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing good stuff. So
appreciate it.
I love seeing the work. I love seeing people thrive and putting out the content and the stuff that you're doing. And I like your thought process behind doing it for your clients, because that's not typical. That's not usually what a lot of people do, and that speaks volume for you. Speaks for you. So
my favorite, my favorite story about Eileen is when the customer pulled up while she was doing somebody else's detail. It was just like, can you do that for me? Like that's the testimony of
absolutely.
I know what I'm doing. I'm putting out the work.
That's great.
Yeah.
When somebody else sees what you're doing, it was like, can you do that for me? And
absolutely.
you're like, yeah, of course.
That freaking rocks, dude.
Yeah.
Good for you, man.
Thank you.
That is awesome. No, that will be fun. I definitely will have that 100% going to be in for Orlando. So we'll look forward to that for the end of January.
Yeah, that's going to be super cool.
That's going to be really fun. I'll be anxious because I've always been wanting to meet everybody and hang out and enjoy the social side and really just rub shoulders. I think it's good. It's important that we put a face to a name and everything else. So.
All right. So I guess final thoughts being first and foremost, we still have 12 people in the chat room. So thank you so much for watching us.
Thank you.
On Easter Saturday night.
Yes.
There's a million places that you guys could be, but you chose to hang out with the Curmudgeons. Special thanks to Matt for being a most gracious guest.
Thank you for
special thanks to Eileen at So Cleen. Let's get her information up there real fast. Follow her when you can. IG So Cleen Detailing.
Welcome, Jamie.
If you want to get a hold of her directly, you can just email her at
info@getsoclean 2 E's.
Yep. Oh, 2 E's. Did I mess that up?
Yeah, that's all right.
No, it's not.
I forgive you, Aaron.
It's not all right. Fix that real quick.
You know the other thing, Aaron, we need to do to put it on your list to do is we need to create something. Even if Eileen and we should create something where we do some kind of car show. You know where we're going to do that, and then have your product there and have an event. Like that's another thing I really would like to do and collaborate with you. And
Adrian's been doing that so far already, which is great. And I do the local one here, but I definitely
get Christopher Biobombs involved. Like it would be fun to have an event.
That would be really cool. Yeah.
And then the detailers are there. I have this whole mindset, and the detailers are there. We're doing demos on cars and using the products and showing. Like that was the whole thing that I spent time with MacShine explaining to him that hey, you should spend time doing this. When we reevaluated that car show, I said, you should be doing demonstrations and showing, the product line, how to use it, and I think it would be awesome to have all of us because it'd be so fun.
Yeah, you have to, you do the juice worth the squeeze, the ROI, you have to kind of look at all that stuff. Like right now, I'm in the phase where I can pretty much chalk up anything to advertising into the advertising budget. Everything can get written off as advertising because, nobody's heard of Phoenix. So to do those kind of things. Jamie the cleaner, I highlighted your comment only because we talked so much trash about you earlier. Oh man, I wish that you had been here earlier to hear it all. Oh man,
Jamie was great.
Roasted you, Jamie.
Dude, you talk about Jamie is funny, dude. When we had him on our podcast, Jamie, you were great, dude. To hear his backstory and some of his stories, if you ever get a chance to sit down and really hear about his wrestling, he's funny, dude.
Here's the funny thing is that I've been on Jamie's show twice.
I love it.
And he's never been on my show. And I don't understand.
I know. Jamie said I was going to come on. I said, all right, I'd love to come on. But
I don't
Jamie,
get it. Like, it's like, is it fake love? I don't know. Am I just content? Jamie, am I just content? I don't know. I don't know. But I will say that he did a quick review of the Typhon interior cleaner and knocked it out of the park. And he even actually gave me a little punch in the arm. Hey, you did a good job with the Typhon. So
nice.
Hearing that kind of high praise from Jamie, that doesn't come out easy. I mean, he's knocked all my other products. He hates everything else, but he was like, Typhon's pretty good.
Your product is on fire.
No,
I like your product.
Jamie's never said any of the stuff negatively.
Jamie's funny. Jamie puts out some great stuff. I like watching his stuff too.
Yeah. All right, so you can get a hold of Matt by any of his instant messenger stuff. You can email him, you can call him, text him, do whatever. Same thing with So Cleen. Eileen, thank you so much for being a co-host. You're absolutely wonderful every single time.
Yes,
thank you.
I think you bring it. It was Titan Tim that suggested that I needed to bring somebody on, and I just
won, dude. You're a winner.
You were a gift.
You were
a gift. So thank you so much.
Do you have a twin?
Me?
I know she has a sister.
I know. I said, do you have a twin that would be interesting?
I see what you did there. She's mine. It's all mine. Get him. I will cut you. I will cut you.
No, you guys do great. You guys are awesome. We're great, fun time. I enjoy spending time with you guys. Aaron, it's always fun talking to you and having your products amazing. Eileen, you are doing great stuff. Love what you're putting
Thank
out content. So I'm anxious
well.
to have you guys on our show once we get it up and running. So I'm anxious for that opportunity. So I'm looking forward to having you guys on. So
hey, I will tell you right now, Matt, on permanent record, whatever I can do to help promote you,
I appreciate that.
Extra Mile or the XO podcast, I will do so.
I really appreciate that.
Any platform that I have is your platform.
I really appreciate it. It means a lot. It really does. And Eileen, you don't live far, so maybe we might schedule a time we have to collaborate.
We should.
You're not far from me because I used to spend my psych was not too far from you.
Yeah.
So he was probably an hour from where you live. So we'll have to maybe even think about
absolutely
collab. I'll have to come out there and collaborate and do some stuff.
Yeah, or I'll come out there. I don't mind the road trip.
It would be fun. That would be fun to do. That would be awesome. So.
All right, everybody. So on this Saturday night at 10 after 11, thank you so much for watching the show. I so appreciate each and every one of you, all the new viewers and all of the existing Phoenix family. Thank you so much. We could not exist without you. So thank you so much for your support. Happy Easter, everyone. We love you all.
Yes, happy Easter. Thank you, everyone.
And we'll catch you at Curmudgeon's Corner 26. Oh, that reminds me. April 13th, we're going to have Fab from Fab Automotive Detailing. He's going to be our host. And then April 27th, we are going to have the mighty Christian from BioBombs is going to be in the show. And that is going to be a crazy night.
That's going to be a great show.
I can't wait. I'm going to definitely stock up on the apple juice for that show because he is a fireball.
He is awesome, dude.
So until Curmudgeon's Corner 26, we'll catch you guys at the next one.
Happy detailing, guys. Enjoy.
Good night.
Thank you.